Pick a card. Wedding vows from your future spouse. Hello and welcome back to Artemisse Tarot. Thank you for joining me for today's reading, which I am extremely excited about. In this reading, we will be receiving so much love from your future spouse, including channeled wedding vows from them. We will take a peek at what your union and marriage will be like with your future spouse, and we'll get some confessions about how your future spouse truly sees you, feels about you, and what they love about you, as well as what things in particular they want to promise you. And to add our cherry on top, I will be reading for you channeled wedding vows from your future spouse. And no worries if you think being open with words and verbal expression isn't exactly your person's style, because these vows are what they truly want to express to you from the depths of their hearts. So even if they are too shy or the strong and silent type, we are going to find out what they really want you to know. And at the end of this video, you can find a guided meditation that I made to help you manifest your future spouse. Guided manifestations were one of the main ways I used to manifest my soulmate. And your ability to manifest your person will be especially amplified when your heart is full of their love for you. So please channel all the warmth and love you receive from your future spouse during this reading as you do the guided meditation. The timestamp is down in the description. For this reading in particular, no worries if you're drawn to more than one pile. It likely does not mean you will have more than one future spouse. Instead, it just means there are probably messages meant for you in more than one reading. And as always, thank you all so much for your love, your support, your kind words, and also for liking my videos and subscribing. All of these things really inspire me to do more readings for you, and all of your support really helps this channel continue to grow. Now then, without further ado, there are 4 readings for you to choose from, and to help you pick, we have these beautiful wedding vow scrolls. Group 1 has the rose pink wedding vow scroll. Group 2 has the sky blue wedding vow scroll. Group 3 has the sunshine yellow wedding vow scroll. And Group 4 has the lavender purple wedding vow scroll. Please take your time to pick the reading that's calling out to you the most. You are welcome to pause the video if you would like, and if you're drawn to more than one reading, it's likely there's a unique combination of messages for you. So once you've decided, please find your timestamp down below, and I will meet you at your reading. This reading is for those of you who have chosen the rose pink wedding vow scroll. Thank you for joining me, and welcome to your reading all about your union with your future spouse and their wedding vows for you. In this reading, we shall take a look at how your union feels, what kind of love you'll share, and some honest confessions from your future spouse's heart. You will hear how they truly see you, what they feel for you, what they adore about you, and what special promises they are holding close for you. And for our grand finale, I will be reading the rose pink channeled wedding vows from your future spouse. And at the end of this video, you will also find a guided meditation that I made to help you channel all the love energy that you're going to receive from this reading into manifesting your future spouse. You can find the timestamp down below. To start things off, I have 2 oracle cards, and they will give us the energy check to help confirm that you are at the right reading. One of these cards represents you, and the other represents your person. This will tell us the energy each person embodies in the general world. You can see which person is you and which person is your future spouse. And if you feel like both sides resonate for you, it's very likely that you and your future spouse will be strongly mirroring each other. So for our first card, we have the Fate with the message, accepting help, guidance. And for the second card, there is the guide with the message Inheritance Correction. Let us start with our fate person. In this deck, the fate comes from the group called the court. The court belongs in the heart of the city, where ambition and leadership and power reside. This is someone who may have strong fire sign placements. Or for some of you who picked this reading, this could just be someone who carries the energy of fire, which is someone who's bold, creative, or passionate. They are probably a very high achiever, and people naturally look to them for guidance. This person is someone who doesn't just participate in life, they shape their own life. They make decisions that affect not just themselves, but often others around them as well. And there is something regal about this energy, but not in a prideful kind of way. Instead, there's a lot of wisdom here. And what is striking about the fate person is that even though they are definitely a leader, they are also not afraid to ask for help. In fact, they've learned that true strength comes from knowing when to reach out and let someone else come in. There is no ego in that. It takes a lot of maturity. This is someone who doesn't pretend to have all the answers. Instead, they weave their life like a master artisan, one stitch at a time, with intention, with humility, and with skill. And as you can see on this fate card, there is a thread and needle image. For a few of you, this may literally be someone who works with their hands. Like this could be a surgeon, a craftsperson, or an artist. For others of you who pick this reading, it might simply mean that this is someone who is careful, deliberate, and they are able to handle intricate, emotional, or practical situations with grace. They have the hands of a creator and the heart of a seer. And for most of you who pick this reading, this fate person believes in fate, definitely. But they're also willing to cut ties when something no longer serves them. Look at the image showing these strings wrapped around the fingers. It's like they are entangled in red string, which represents the threads of destiny. And while this fate person respects that some things are meant to be, they also hold the scissors. They know when to stay woven in and when to set themselves free. They have the knowledge and power to cut away any toxic ties that do not serve them. This fate person has likely always been the one that others tend to rely on. The one who carries responsibility quietly but powerfully. And they may have had to grow up quickly. Or maybe it's just that they have always had an inner sense that they were meant for something significant. And they're learning that even leaders need softness, need support, need love that doesn't ask for anything back. On the other side, we have the guide person here. In this deck, the guide is someone from the group called the Academy. The Academy is a place of thought and study and wisdom. Their energy is air. But there's also strong water energy to this card because we can see that the image on this card shows so much flowing, beautiful water. Our guide person is someone who is definitely intelligent and curious and deeply observant. And also they are either very in touch with their emotions or they're very emotional, or maybe they're both. This person's probably a thinker, someone who loves asking why and pulling ideas apart until they make sense. Air sign energy is also very strong here, so this person could have an air sign for their sun, moon, or rising, or they might have strong air qualities such as clear communication, quick thoughts, and sharp insight. But what makes our guide person especially stand out is that they don't just inherit knowledge without thinking. They know when to break patterns. This is someone who doesn't blindly accept what they've been given. whether it is a family belief, a cultural pattern, a societal structure, or a lesson from childhood. They hold it up to the light and they ask, does this still serve me? And is this still true? And if it isn't, they have the courage and wisdom to change it. If we look at the image on this card, the waterfall here reveals to us that there is more tenderness and emotion than meets the eye. This is someone who loves deeply, even if they don't always show it in loud or obvious ways. There's also a softness beneath the guide person's logic. They might be someone who has cried in secret, or they might be the one who is always there for everyone else going through pain. But the water here is flowing. It is present and alive and emotional. This person may surprise you with how deeply they truly feel. And then we also see on the image that there is a bell. This tells us that our guide person is someone who speaks with purpose. For a few of you who picked this reading, it could be that this person has a special sounding voice that you hear once and you can never forget. Whether that's literal, like perhaps they are an amazing singer or public speaker, or it could just refer to the way they express themselves. Their words ring out, and they get to the heart of the matter without confusion. And people can't help but listen when they speak. The guide is someone who brings clarity to cloudy situations. They are probably very introspective, and maybe they've spent a lot of time trying to make sense of their past because they don't want to repeat cycles. They want to evolve, and when it comes to love, they're not really just looking for passion, they're looking for understanding. And this guide person wants a love that is intelligent, curious, and emotionally awake and alive. And they're willing to do the work to build this kind of love. Together, the fate and the guide are really a very breathtaking match, I think. The fate brings vision and momentum. They lead with courage and they have a fire that lights up the whole room, while the guide brings clarity, understanding, and depth. They slow things down, they ask the right questions, and they see through illusion. The fate person teaches the guide person how to perhaps trust their instincts and take action. And the guide person teaches the fate how to pause and reflect and evolve. So if these cards have resonated for you and your future spouse so far, then you found the right reading. If not, then feel free to try a different pile that you may have been drawn to. For the next part of our reading, I have these two tarot cards to tell us about how you and your future spouses are like with each other within your relationship. So this is the energy you and your person bring into your connection, and it could be even a side of you that you may not show the outside world. So for our first card, there is... Oh wow, it's the Lovers. Okay, enough said. And for our other card, we have the Fool. These two cards could represent you and your person, one card for each person, or it could refer to both of you together within your shared life. So let us start with the beautiful Lovers card. This is such a gentle and romantic card, and in this deck, the imagery is very sweet and tender. The image shows the little prince and his beloved rose. The rose is delicate, radiant, one of a kind, and the little prince knows it. He doesn't take her for granted. He protects her, he nurtures her, and he adores her, not because she demands it, but because he wants to. And this is how you or your person shows up in your marriage. You show up as this deeply devoted partner. You show up as a lover in the truest sense of the word. There's such a strong feeling of gratitude and awe here. Like you or your future spouse could be saying, I can't believe I get to love you. This is affectionate, emotionally expressive, and extremely devoted energy. This card can also represent air sign energy. The Lover's card is also known as the Gemini card, so it's likely that communication is something that's very important, or it flows very easily between you and your future spouse. Words of affirmation could be a key love language in your relationship, as the way one or both of you like to give or receive love. Perhaps your future spouse loves to tell you all the time how beautiful you are, how proud they are of you, and how lucky they feel to have you. Or perhaps you are the one who loves to praise them and encourage them, or tell them just how much you adore them. But here's what is most special, I think. The Lover's card here tells us that you and your future spouse don't just say how you feel, you also show it. You show it through listening closely and paying attention, through the way you care for each other in both big and small ways. Perhaps you might stop in the middle of a busy day just to check in on your future spouse. Or it's your future spouse who remembers the little things that make you feel safe and seen. This beautiful Lover's card is telling us that when you or your person love, you love with intention. Now for our other card, we have the Fool. This energy is radiant. There's something so fresh and pure about it. Whoever embodies this card is someone who enters this union with an open heart and a readiness to take the leap. The Fool is often misunderstood as maybe a little bit naive, but what they really are is brave and optimistic, because it takes incredible courage to start a new journey. And this person is saying, I don't know everything, but I trust you and I trust us. For some of you who pick this reading, it could very well be that this Fool card is representing someone who maybe hasn't had many relationships before, or at least not relationships like this one. But even if they are inexperienced, they are not afraid. In fact, being within this connection makes them feel free. There's an awakening of the inner child here as well. Walls come down, burdens are set aside, and they get to just be. They get to be playful, they get to be lighthearted, and spontaneous too. The Fool energy is not about recklessness here. It is about openness. This is someone who believes in the power of love and in the relationship. They will always be willing to grow, to learn, and to try. This is someone who will dance with you in the kitchen. They will laugh until they cry. They'll dare to try all the things they want to try, especially now that they have their true love by their side. The Lovers and the Fool are two major arcana cards, and this is definitely an incredible union and marriage. The Lover's card says you bring the devotion, the steadiness, and the daily acts of love that reminds you every day that you are cherished, while the Fool card brings freshness, possibility, and the joy and inspiration to write your own love story. Together, you and your future spouse will make a home that feels both secure and also spontaneous. It is romantic and playful, grounded and also adventurous. There will be so much good communication, and there is trust. There's a deep emotional safety that lets you both be who you really are, not just the versions of you that the world sees, but the versions of you that can only come out when someone feels truly loved. And in this union, that's exactly the version both of you are. You and your future spouse might love differently, but you love each other well. You complement each other in the most natural kind of way. One of you might be more like a sanctuary, while the other is more like a spark. One reminds their spouse they're worthy of love, and the other reminds their spouse to take chances and enjoy the ride. It will definitely be a relationship where you'll feel safe to bloom, where love is spoken, but more importantly, where love is shown, where your hearts recognize each other across time and space, and you feel safe to open and to receive. We also have all these oracle cards to tell us more about the dynamics and energy of your relationship and marriage. I shall show you all of them first, and then I'll go through each one. Starting with our first card, there is Snapdragon with a message, graciousness and benevolence. No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. And then we have Mercury with a message, think, learn, network, and communicate. The next card is Leadership, represented by the broccoli with a number 6. And next we have Scorpio with the message, investigate. We also got Heaven with a number 70. And last but definitely not least, there is Waxing Crescent Moon with a message, have faith in your dreams. Wow. Let us begin with the Snapdragon card, which brings the message, graciousness and benevolence. No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. This card immediately tells me that your relationship is filled with gratitude. There is a mutual appreciation between you and your future spouse. You don't take each other for granted, and the little things, the morning coffee, the gentle hand on your back, the kind check-ins after a long day, these things will not go unappreciated in your marriage. Every small act of love is felt and cherished and remembered. You treat each other with tolerance and kindness and compassion. Even in hard moments, there is definitely a softness in how you communicate. You may disagree, of course, but it's not in your nature to hurt each other with sharp words or cold silences. And I have to say, despite the name Snapdragon, this is not a connection where you're going to be snapping at each other. If anything, this love has a calming effect on both of you. It diffuses tension and reminds you to return to love first and foremost. And at the end of a tough day, the moment you get to bury your face in your future spouse's warm hug, everything bad just feels like it melts away. Our next card is Mercury, which carries the message, think, learn, network, and communicate. This card tells us that the intellectual and mental bond between you and your person is astounding. This is a relationship of the mind as well as the heart. You may fall in love with the way your person thinks just as much as the way they love. And it's definitely mutual because you're both deeply curious and inspired by each other's perspectives. Conversations between you will never run dry. You will love learning together, whether it's traveling to a new city, discussing books and ideas late into the night, or diving into niche interests side by side. Your union brings mental stimulation and inspiration and constant discovery. You challenge each other, and this high-level intellectual connection definitely helps to keep the spark alive. And on this Mercury card, there is a butterfly, which represents transformation. This could mean that your relationship transforms you both, or that you're always going to be growing together. Or perhaps butterflies could have a special meaning in your connection. For some of you, butterflies could appear as a sign when you're near each other in spirit, or when something big is about to unfold in your path. Next, we have the leadership card, represented by the broccoli and marked with our number 6. Now, don't let the broccoli throw you off. This card is surprisingly rich in meaning. First of all, the number 6 is the number of the Lover's card in tarot, and this brings us back full circle to our Lover's card and confirms again that your relationship is deeply rooted in love, in choice, and in meaningful commitment. The astrological symbols on this card we see there's Gemini and Libra. And this further affirms that the strong air sign energy present in your connection is going to be important. Communication is central. You speak to each other with clarity and with respect. And with the moon symbol here, which is also on the card, there's definitely a lot of depth as well. This could be emotional, intuitive, and spiritual depth. And despite all of this air energy, this card reminds us that your love is rooted in the earth element too. There is a solid foundation. This isn't just head in the clouds romance, because you and your future spouse will be building a life together. You will share responsibilities. You will support one another in very real and very tangible ways. Now, this card is the leadership card, and this is very meaningful. It tells us that within your marriage, there is a healthy and balanced approach to leading and supporting each other. For some of you, one person could naturally take the lead in certain areas, while the other prefers to trust and let go of control. For others, you could be taking turns leading. Perhaps one of you guides the household while the other leads in career, or emotional growth, or travel. However, the balance plays out very well, and it really works out for you and your future spouse in this respect. There is a lot of trust, and there is no need for ego between you two. Then we have the card Scorpio with the message investigate. This card confirms that we have already sensed this connection to be built on curiosity, and this tells us there is a desire to go deep. You and your future spouse are both interested. You're interested in life, in ideas, in experiences, and you're definitely extremely interested in each other. You don't just stop at the surface. You want to understand each other on every level. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, all the levels. And speaking of that physical level, Scorpio is connected to the sacral chakra and the pelvis, and themes of sensuality, passion, and intimacy. So there is definitely a lot of fire here. Your chemistry with your future spouse will be magnetic, and your intimate life will be a safe, sacred place where both of you feel free to explore and express and feel the kind of connection that only helps each other open up and grow deeper with time. For some of you who picked this reading, it could also be that you will be the kind of couple who loves to explore life together, like new restaurants, mysteries, games, and deep talks late into the night about the human mind, maybe. You'll want to experience things with each other, and you'll never stop learning new things about each other. And then we have the stunning card, the Heaven card, and this is number 70. This is actually the final card in this deck. So this card also represents completion. This card radiates soft light and gentle blue colors. It is so serene and uplifting, and although it's mostly blue, it feels so warm, if you get what I mean. This is the energy of your relationship at its core. Being with your future spouse will feel like coming home, not just to a person, but to a feeling that you might not even have known that you were missing until you met your person. And there's so much peace, there's safety and acceptance and sunshine and warmth. And here in this heaven, you and your future spouse will be building something wonderful together. This is not a connection built on drama or chaos or longing. It's built on fulfillment. And you will feel so full in this relationship. And you'll know that no matter what life throws at you, this love is your anchor. And finally, we come to our waxing crescent moon card, which brings the message, have faith in your dreams. This is such a beautiful and hopeful message to end this section on. It tells us that you and your future spouse will not only encourage each other's personal dreams, but you'll also dream together and turn your combined dream into a reality. And if at any point one of you loses sight of your own light, when you doubt or falter or when you feel small, the other of you will be there to remind you and tell you, I see you, I believe in you, let's keep going. The waxing crescent moon is early in the moon cycle. It follows the new moon, which is the setting of intentions. And this could be interpreted as the idea that your relationship will always feel fresh and full of potential, with so much more yet to come. You could stay in the honeymoon phase much longer than most people, or it might seem like the honeymoon phase might last forever. Not because everything is perfect all the time, but because your hearts stay curious and playful and you are just enchanted by each other. There's always more to explore, more to learn about each other, and more to experience side by side. And this is a union that evolves, it surprises, and it delights. You will never run out of things to love about each other. You'll never stop being amazed and amused by each other. Wow, I'm really getting so excited about this connection between you and your future spouse. So now that we know what it's like within your relationship and marriage, it is time to receive a whole lot of love from your future spouse. These first two cards will tell us about how your future spouse truly sees you. For your first card, we have the Tailor with the message, attention to detail, pride. And for your tarot card, there is the Six of Pentacles. Starting with our Tailor card, your future spouse sees you as someone who brings immense care and intention into everything that you do. Whether it's your work, your hobbies, your relationships, or simply how you go about your day-to-day life, you show up fully. You don't half love and you don't half create. Everything you offer comes from the heart, and your future spouse sees you as someone who is incredibly devoted. You put your soul into your passions, and it really shows. They see the way you pour yourself into the things you care about, the way your eyes might light up when you talk about what inspires you, the way your hands move with care when you're working on something that matters. And every time they witness it, their love for you deepens. And this card also tells us your future spouse feels so proud of you. When they talk about you to others, it's visible. There is softness and awe in their voice, and sparkles and admiration in their eyes. You are their pride. They are so proud of you, and they're so proud to be with you. And there's something else coming through here too. The image on this card looks kind of familiar because it looks similar to the image on the Fate card that we pulled earlier. For many of you, it could very well be that you are the Fate person that we spoke of in the beginning, and your future spouse sees you as someone so wise and grounded, and they think you're self-directed and powerful as well. But for those of you who feel the Fate is actually your future spouse, this could mean they see a reflection of themselves in you, and they feel a familiarity in you that they can't quite explain, as if you've walked alongside them in lifetimes before. This card is also the element of water. It brings an emotional and intuitive and also a healing kind of energy. Your future spouse sees you as someone who feels deeply and someone who stirs deep emotions in their heart. They see you as someone who can soothe them just by being who you are. The other card we got is the Six of Pentacles, and this has the image of our little prince watching the pilot draw him a sheep. The sheep the pilot draws is clearly quite terrible. It's not exactly right and kind of wonky, but the little prince doesn't mind. He is not looking for perfection. and he is enchanted, completely and utterly absorbed. Look at the way the little prince is watching the pilot. He's holding his face in his hands, and he is absolutely just mesmerized. And this is exactly how your future spouse looks at you. You are their muse, their endless fascination, and they could watch you for hours and never get tired of looking at you. Every quirk, every shift in your expression, every little thing about you that you think maybe no one else notices, your future spouse notices, and they love you even more for it. Even in your imperfections, or perhaps especially in your imperfections, your future spouse finds so much beauty. They are captivated not by how perfect you are, but by how real you are. And you might have moments of doubt, or when you're a hot mess, when you don't have it all together, and yet they'll still look at you like you are art. Like they can't believe someone as wonderful and as beautiful as you can exist in this world, and somehow you are theirs. This card also speaks of generosity and balance. It is about give and take, and it's that kind of love that feels equal and healthy. Your future spouse sees you as someone who gives freely, not out of obligation, but from genuine care and warmth. You're someone who offers without keeping score. You give love and you give support without asking for anything in return. And what they love most is that in this relationship, there is balance. They receive your love and they give it right back. You pour into each other, and it's not one-sided. It's never one-sided. You don't have to chase or prove yourself. You both simply just love and are loved in return. And most of all, they see you as theirs, not in ownership, but more like in belonging. Your future spouse sees you as someone who truly belongs with them, in their heart, in their life, and in their story. Next, with these cards, we will look into how your future spouse feels about you. For our oracle card, there is the Runaway with the message, Secrets Running from Problems. And our tarot card is the Three of Cups. Now, at first glance, this Runaway card might seem like a heavy or complicated card, but what it really reveals is just how safe your love makes your future spouse feel. You are their safe place that they want to run away to. When the world gets loud or painful, when they're struggling with something they can't yet voice, they turn inward. And in that inner space, you are their comfort. You're the one they run to, not because they want you to fix their problems, but because being near you already begins their healing. Just your presence is so soothing for them. Just your steady and unwavering love gives them strength to recover. And this card tells us that they feel safe showing you the parts of themselves that no one else gets to see. The parts they were taught to hide, perhaps. The soft, scared, confused, or broken parts of them that they tend to keep secret. But with you, they don't have to pretend to be stronger than they really are. And they don't have to wear masks, because they know that you don't need them to be perfect. You just love them, and in that kind of love, they bloom. The image on this card shows an open cage, and it's so beautiful and symbolic. Your future spouse feels like you set them free. Maybe they've been caged by expectations, by guilt, by past relationships, or even their own fear. But with you, they don't feel trapped anymore. They feel like they can finally exhale. They can exist without pressure, and you give them space to just be, and that is rare and wonderful. This card is also water energy, which is emotional, intuitive, and healing. There's a soft, watery current flowing through how they feel about you. It's not chaotic or overwhelming. It is nurturing. And it's the feeling of someone holding you after a long cry. The feeling of warmth that rises in your chest when someone finally says, "You are safe now." And the other card that came through for us is the Three of Cups, which is even more water energy. This is a card of joy and friendship and celebration. It tells us that your future spouse doesn't just love you, they also like you, if that makes any sense. They like the person you are, and you are their best friend. You bring out the most playful and light-hearted sides of them, and you're the person they want to share victories with, but also the one who makes even ordinary days feel like something to celebrate. With you, laughter comes so easily, and there is this sense of companionship, of true joy that isn't forced or fleeting. It's like a natural rhythm between the two of you. The image on this card shows the little prince, the pilot, and the fox celebrating with joy because they found a well in the desert. To them, this well is something essential, something life-giving and life-saving. And to your future spouse, that well is you. You are the water in the desert, and that's how your future spouse truly feels about you. They've been searching for someone their whole life. And when they found you, it was like finding the well that quenched a lifelong thirst. Maybe they didn't even know they were that thirsty until they tasted the sweetness of your love. You are the one they want to laugh with and cry with and whisper secrets to at night. You're the one they want to run to, not just when things are hard, but when life is beautiful too, because you are their home. Wow, I have goosebumps. These messages are so beautiful, and we are not even done yet. Our next two cards will tell us about what your future spouse loves about you. And by all means, this is not everything they love about you, because there's way too much for us to cover everything, I'm sure. But these are just some things in particular that your future spouse wants to highlight for you at this very moment. So for our oracle card, there is the Musician with a message, inspiration, gratitude. And your tarot card is the Magician. Wow, okay. Where do we start? For the Musician card, once again, we are swimming in more water energy. Your future spouse loves how deeply you feel, and they love that you don't walk through life numbly. Instead, you move with soul and sensitivity and with awareness. You notice beauty. You feel things deeply. You express your emotions in ways that are honest and raw and very real. And for a few of you who might not express your emotions often, when you do, you are fully present and so grounded. And your future spouse loves that you are a living, breathing source of inspiration for them. And maybe not just to them, but likely you're that kind of inspiration to everyone who's lucky enough to know you. And there's something about the way you exist that really moves your future spouse. You've touched them in such a deep, soulful way, whether you realize it or not. In fact, for some of you, your future spouse may have been inspired to change their life course, or heal a personal wound, take a leap, or believe in love again because of you. You sparked something within them that perhaps they thought would never be lit up again. They also adore that you have creative passions. Perhaps some of you do art or paint, sing, maybe write, dance, play music, or perhaps you just daydream vividly. Your future spouse thinks your energy is charged with imagination and creativity, and that is something they absolutely adore. And if you are an actual musician or a singer, then know this. When you perform or create, your future spouse is utterly captivated by you. To them, you're shining, and they just can't see anything else other than you in that moment. But even more than your talents, your future spouse loves your spirit. They think you are incredibly grateful. You don't take things or people for granted. You notice the small things. Maybe you say thank you often, or perhaps you show love in very thoughtful ways. And that gratitude is what makes people feel seen. It makes them feel appreciated. And to your future spouse, being loved by someone like you just fills their heart with so much warmth, and they are so incredibly grateful for it. The second card we pulled is our Magician. This card represents so much power and creativity and the ability to manifest dreams into reality. Your future spouse is honestly in awe of what you are capable of. They love how creative you are, not just in artistic ways, but in how you move through life. In your future spouse's eyes, you know how to make something beautiful from the mundane. You know how to find new ways to express love or to solve problems, and also to create a life that feels meaningful. They see you as someone with real power, not the loud kind that demands attention, but more the quiet kind that builds and transforms from within. You are the kind of person who dreams, and you dream things up and then you make them happen. And your future spouse finds that so incredibly attractive. There's also a message here for some of you. If you haven't yet fully stepped into this confidence and this courage to dream and to manifest, then your future spouse is telling you that they already see this power in you, and they love your magic, and they want you to see it too. In their eyes, you are not just beautiful or intelligent, you are magic in motion. You're a living reminder that life can be soft and soulful and creative and full of heart. You remind them of what matters. And whether or not they always have the words to express it, in their soul, they are endlessly grateful that someone like you exists, and they get to call you theirs. Finally, these last two cards will show us some things your future spouse wants to promise you. Again, this is not everything they want to promise you. It is just a few things they want to highlight in particular. For our Oracle card, we have the Alchemist with the message, balance, invention, destruction. And the Tarot card we got is the Hanged Man. Starting with the Alchemist, this is not a light promise. This is a soul-level vow. Your future spouse wants to promise you that they will be with you through it all. Your future spouse does not just love you for your beauty or for your strengths. They're not only there for the fun and the joy, though there will definitely be plenty of that. They're making it clear here that they are here to stay, through calm waters and through crashing waves, in moments of bliss and in moments of breakdown. The Alchemist is all about transformation. On this card, we see the phrase solve et coagula, which means to dissolve and to coagulate. And this is the idea that a substance must be broken down before it can be built up into something new. And this is how alchemy tries to transform base metals into gold. This card tells us that what you and your future spouse have is a sacred kind of love, and a love that evolves, a love that rebuilds. Your person promises to show up in the moments when things feel uncertain or shaky. When something in your life or within you has to be torn down in order to be rebuilt stronger, your future spouse will not run. They'll help you pick up the pieces. They'll be right next to you to plant the new seeds together. Your future spouse wants to promise you that they will be there to be your steady hand when things fall apart and to be your cheerleader when things come together. And it is a promise to go through it with you, not to fix everything, not to lead the way, but to walk beside you, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, every single step of the way. The second card we pulled is the Hanged Man. And this card speaks of perspective, endurance, trials and tribulations, and also sacrifice. Your future spouse wants to make it known that they're not afraid of the hard stuff. They're not afraid of the waiting, the challenges, or the times that ask you both to step out of your comfort zone. They're saying, whatever trials come, we will face them together. They feel that your love is worth any challenge, any test, any obstacle. There's nothing they wouldn't face if it means standing strong with you. But this card also reveals something deeper, and it's their promise that they would give anything for you. Not out of obligation, not out of some dramatic, self-sacrificing fantasy, but it will be out of pure, anchored love. And this is the kind of person who would carry your pain without being asked, who would quietly bear the weight with you, not because they have to, but because your joy is theirs and your pain is theirs too. That said, they know you're strong. You don't ask for anything you wouldn't give in return, and you're not leaning on them for rescue or for salvation. And yet they just want you to know how far they're willing to go for you. Your future spouse wants to promise you a love that is not just about shared joy, but shared life. They want to promise you to love fully, honestly, unconditionally, through thick and thin, and through feast and famine. Wow, I loved all the beautiful love confessions and heartfelt promises for you from your future spouse. Now, to finish everything off, I would love to read for you the channeled wedding vows from your future spouse. Don't worry if your person isn't usually the wordy type. These vows reflect what they wish they could say straight from their heart. So even if they're the quiet or reserved kind, here are their true vows for you. My love, before I found you, I wandered, not just through places or time, but through myself, trying to find the shape of something I could never quite name. I carried wounds I didn't know how to heal, stories I didn't know how to tell, and dreams I was afraid to believe in. And then I saw you. You didn't rush in with answers. You didn't try to fix or change me. You just were. So fully and fiercely yourself, full of light and fire and gentleness and grace. I remember the way you caught my breath when I first saw you, not because of how you looked, though that stunned me too, but because something in me recognized you, like my soul had always known yours and was finally exhaling after lifetimes of holding its breath. You are the person I feel safe to run to when life gets too heavy. You are my shelter and my strength. You never demanded I be whole. You simply gave me a place to rest while I found my way. With you, I feel free, like I can open every hidden part of me and still be loved. Especially then. You've inspired me more than you know. Maybe I've told you this 100 times, even if only in my heart. Maybe I never found the words. But loving you has made me a better person, a fuller one. The way you live with such heart, such care, such devotion to the things you love, it makes me want to live more deeply too. When you talk about your passions, when your eyes light up with excitement, when you put your soul into your work, I am in awe. And I am so, so proud of you. You are the music in my silence, the stillness in my storms. There is a peace in your presence I have never found anywhere else. Even when you're just sitting beside me doing nothing, I love those moments too. I vow to walk with you through every chapter, even the ones we didn't plan for, through change and challenge, through joy and stillness, If things fall apart, I will be there, my hand holding yours, helping us build again. You will never have to face the dark alone. I vow to listen, not just to your words, but to the quiet spaces between them, to hear your heart when it's loud and when it's quiet, to honor all the versions of you, the becoming, the blooming, and the parts still healing. I vow to cherish your magic, not just when you feel radiant, but when you feel unsure too, to remind you that you are powerful, that you are art, that you are enough. And I vow to love you endlessly, to keep discovering you, to never stop choosing you, to celebrate the small, ordinary days and hold close the sacred ones, to laugh with you, to cry with you, to grow old with you. I know now that love like this doesn't come from chance. It comes from soul, from lifetimes, from the magical pull of something written in the stars. And I will never take it for granted. You are my best friend. You are the love of my life. And for every day we are given, I vow to love you with everything I have. Always and forever, your future spouse. Those are all the beautiful messages I have for you today. And now that your heart is full with love from your future spouse, it is the perfect time to channel that energy into manifesting your future spouse with this guided meditation, which you can find at the timestamp in the description. This was such a wonderful reading and so full of love. As always, absolutely feel free to claim all the messages you would like. Please remember, this is a general reading, so never fear if not every single message was for you. We also have the ability to shape our own destinies and paths. So if there is something that you don't like in your reading, trust that you do have the power to influence and change it. Please let me know in the comments below if things resonated for you, and please feel free to leave a like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and I will see you in the next one. This reading is for those of you who have chosen the Sky Blue Wedding Vow Scroll. Thank you for joining me and welcome to your reading all about your union with your future spouse and their wedding vows for you. We're going to explore what your marriage will look like, what kind of bond you'll share, and how your future spouse truly feels about you. You'll receive their heartfelt confessions on how they see you, feel about you, and what they love the most about you, and the promises they want to make just for you. To finish off, I'll also be sharing the Sky Blue channeled wedding vows from your future spouse. And at the end of this video, you'll also find a guided meditation that I made to help you channel all the love energy that you're going to receive from this reading into manifesting your future spouse. And you can find the timestamp for that down below as well. Starting with the first part of this reading, I have 2 oracle cards here to give us an energy check to help confirm that you've picked the right reading. One of these cards represents you and the other represents your person. This will tell us how you and your person are like in the general world. And you can decide which is you and which is your future spouse. And if you feel like both cards are resonating for you, then it's very likely that you and your future spouse are mirroring each other strongly. So for our first card, there is the Painter with the message productivity, creation. And for the second card, we have the Champion with the message achievement, downfall. Wow, this is such a great pairing. I'm getting excited already. So let us begin with the energy of the Painter. The Painter belongs to a group in this deck that is known as the Troupe, which is made up of the dreamers, the travelers, and all of the creatives. So this person is also carrying the energy of water. For some of you who picked this reading, it can mean that this Painter person can have strong water signs for their sun, moon, rising, or Venus. Or it could just be that they are deeply emotional. Perhaps they're intuitive and heart-centered. And this painter is the kind of person who doesn't just see the world, they feel it. And I have to say, this energy is really quite beautiful. This is someone who brings color to everyone and everything around them, literally and metaphorically. The card's image, as we can see here, shows a black and white world, but the painter's brush strokes are in beautiful, vibrant color. And that is how people experience this person, as a source of warmth, vibrancy, and inspiration in a sometimes gray or tired kind of world. They may actually be an artist of sorts. They might dabble in painting, drawing, photography, or music and writing. Or perhaps simply they like to move through life in a way that is creative and soulful or deeply inspired. You know how sometimes you meet a person and immediately you get the feeling that they definitely have art in their heart? Even in everyday moments, this person brings a kind of poetry to the world. Their emotions run deep, and they're not afraid to express love, vulnerability, or pain. They feel everything, and while that emotional depth can sometimes overwhelm them, it's also what makes them so magnetic and healing to be around. For some of you who pick this reading, it is very likely that this painter person is a bit of an empath. But there's definitely also a flash of fire in them, because we can see that the bright red of the paint on the image in this card, this tells us that while this painter person can be soft and nurturing, they're also very passionate and driven, and maybe even a little bit spicy. They make things happen, whether that's art or a business, a family, or a vision for the future. They are builders of beauty and meaning. The word productivity on this card also tells us that this person works very hard. Whether they realize it or not, they have manifested so much through their dedication. For some of you, this is someone who has found success doing what they love. They might already be financially quite abundant, or they're on track to becoming financially abundant. For others of you who pick this reading, this person may still be on their journey, but they are committed to their craft, their goals, and as well as their healing. And let's not forget the word creation here. This is such powerful energy. For some of you, this could mean that the painter is someone who wants to create life with a partner, someone who could be dreaming of a family, of kids, or it could mean they are a master manifester, someone who knows how to take a whisper of an idea and breathe it into life. Now let us move on to the champion person. Immediately, this is a very striking energy. It is bold and it is focused. This card belongs to the group called the Academy in this deck, and these are the seekers of truth and knowledge. This is someone who always wants to learn and grow and achieve more, not necessarily for applause or praise, but instead it is because they crave depth and understanding. The energy here is air. This person could have strong air signs in their chart, or they are someone who has dominant air qualities, such as mental clarity and intellect or decisiveness. But sometimes they may be seen by others as a little bit emotionally distant, though this is not necessarily the truth. Because this champion is also curious and clever, and perhaps they're always questioning things. And what is very interesting about this energy is that even though they appear confident or accomplished, it is highly likely that this person is actually very gentle or sensitive on the inside. If we take a look at the image on this card, we can see that there is a sword. And swords are powerful and sharp, but this sword has a blade that is crumbling. It could be that this champion person actually does not want to hurt others. Perhaps their blade is just for show or for self-protection, like a hard outer shell to protect their gentle heart. We can also see on the image that these hands holding the sword are tied, and this tells us that this champion person may have felt, perhaps for a long time, that they are trapped or restricted from showing their full self. Perhaps they had to live up to something. Maybe it is the weight of expectations, either from family, from society, or from their own inner voice. They might have had to be the strong one, the smart one, or the one who always knows what to do. But inside this person, there is tenderness. There's someone who has felt trapped, perhaps, and like they're only allowed to show certain parts of themselves. And they may have a lot of admirers, people who respect their success, their accomplishments, and their strength. And yet, strangely, that success can feel quite lonely. Their greatest asset, which is their brilliance, sometimes could feel like a cage. Perhaps they want so badly to be seen for their heart and not just for their achievements. And they're far more sensitive than they let on, and they really crave a connection where they can finally lay down their sword and just be loved for being themselves. So here we have the painter, the one who turns emotion into color and brings healing and vibrancy into the world. And we have the champion, the one who seems strong and perfect, but has carried so much on their shoulders. Their energies are quite different, but together these two are a balancing act. It is water and air, feeling and thought, creation and action, and dreaming and doing. If the painter and the champion sound like you and your person, then you are at the right reading. If not, please feel free to pick another wedding vow scroll that you may have been drawn to. Moving on then to the next part of this reading, I have these two tarot cards to tell us about how you and your future spouse are like with each other and within your union. This is the energy you and your future spouse bring into your relationship, and it could even reveal a side of you or them that you may not show to the outside world. For our first card, we got the Two of Wands. And for our other card, it is the Knight of Pentacles. For these two cards, it could be that one card represents you and the other represents your future spouse. Or it could also be that these two cards both represent both of you within your connection. Starting with our Two of Wands here. The energy is fire. It is passionate, forward-looking, and a little bit daring. This person is standing on the edge of something new, something big, and they've left the familiar behind and are stepping forward. If we take a look at the imagery on this card, we see the little prince venturing into an unknown land. He is in search of something he's never truly had before. He's looking for connection, belonging, and maybe even some healing. We can also see that there is a snake near the little prince, which represents danger, but we can see that it does not hold the little prince back. The snake reminds us of how vulnerable real love can feel, and even though there is definitely some risk involved, you, your future spouse, or perhaps both of you are choosing courage over fear. For some of you who picked this reading, it could be that one of you is entering this relationship from a place of deep personal growth. You may not have experienced a healthy, safe love like this before. Maybe in the past, love looked like chaos or disappointment or betrayal. And yet in this union, you are choosing to hope again. You're choosing to love with your heart wide open, even if it feels scary. There's also something very emotionally tender about this person. Whether this is you, your future spouse, or even both of you, this person might be the type to get moved and cry during sappy movies, or maybe they carry a deep well of dreams in their heart. But what makes them so special in this union is that they are willing. They're willing to learn, to grow, and to be better. They're willing to show up every day with wonder and with love. They're always dreaming forward, always seeking something meaningful. And this relationship gives this person the safety to do that. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. This is the anchor in this relationship, the protector, the safe place to land. This knight might not tend to express their love with words, but you will know that they love you because of what they do. They'll make sure your car is filled with gas. They'll keep your favorite snacks always stocked. They will remember that you had a big day and bring you something that says, I am proud of you. This person is consistent. This person is loyal and hardworking. They might be more introverted or more traditional perhaps, but once they commit, they are in. This is the kind of love that shows up for the hard stuff. When life gets messy, this person does not flinch. They'll stand beside you, they'll be your rock, and they will tell you, we have got this. In your love union, this person believes in building something that lasts. They take their vows very seriously, and they may not rush into things, but when they do make a choice, it is made with their whole heart. Their love language might be acts of service or even physical touch, because they like to show their affection through what they do and not just what they say. Their biggest desire is to protect and provide and cherish the love that you two share. Together, the Two of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles create a very beautiful balance. One is looking ahead and dreaming big and reaching for the stars, while the other is more grounded and steady and holding the map and building the road brick by brick. One brings inspiration and vulnerability, and the other brings safety and action. Together, these two cards tell us that you and your future spouse will always keep moving forward, not in a rush, but more in a very steady and intentional pace. This relationship isn't about rescuing each other. It is about choosing each other every day. It's about holding space for one another's fears and dreams. It is the commitment to growing together, to dreaming and to building together, to holding each other steady when the world feels shaky. This is a partnership that is rooted in trust and lasting devotion, as well as the kind of magic that only grows stronger with time. We also have many oracle cards here to tell us more about the dynamics and energy of your relationship and marriage with your future spouse. I shall show you all of them first, and then I'll go through each one in detail. Starting with this first card, we have Gloxinia with a message, love at first sight and proud spirit. When I saw you, I fell in love, and you smiled because you knew. And then we have North Node with the message, destined to have. For our next card, it is Longevity, which is represented by the chrysanthemum, and it has number 39 on it. And then there is Conjunction with the message, Alliance. We also have Heartfire, which is number 1. And finally, we have Blue Moon with the message, believe in the impossible. Wow. Let us start off with the Gloxinia card. Whether they ever admit it out loud or not, your future spouse was captivated from the moment they first saw you. It might have taken them a while to catch up with their own feelings, or maybe you were the one who just had that love at first sight feeling. But either way, this connection was instant and powerful and really unforgettable. And that love at first sight spark somehow never fades for you two. That same fire, that same awe, and that same pull and attraction that your person felt when they first laid eyes on you. They will keep feeling it over and over again, no matter how much time passes. And you will also feel that same strength of attraction for them. There's also something about your smile that your future spouse cherishes more than anything. When you're hurting, it knocks the wind out of them, and they will do anything to make the hurt go away. And when you laugh, it just lights up their whole world. More than anything, they just want you to be safe, and they want to guard your happiness, to protect your spirit, and to keep your smile shining. Or for some of you, this could be the way you feel about your future spouse's smile. You find it just so captivating and beautiful, and you would watch them smile forever if you could. Next, we have the North Node card, with the message Destined to Have. This card confirms for us that this union is not just a happy coincidence. This union is written in the stars. The North Node represents your soul's growth, the direction your life was always meant to travel. When you and your future spouse found each other, you two both recognized something incredible in each other. Maybe it was a sense of home, a sense of course it's you, it has always been you. The image on this card shows a river, which is a beautiful symbol of how your relationship could flow so naturally. Yes, rivers also have bends and twists, so there will be moments where you face hardships, but you will never face those things alone. This isn't a union of opposition. It is two people facing the world together. You and your spouse will always be on the same team, and it will be you and them against the world. And it'll never feel like you and them versus each other. Moving on to the longevity card, which is represented by the chrysanthemum. This is powerful confirmation for us that this union is built to last. This is a love that withstands the test of time. It is an enduring, ever-deepening bond that will only grow stronger through the years. We also see that there is a Scorpio symbol here, and this hints at emotional and physical intensity and depth. Your relationship will be full of real profoundness, not just on the surface, but in the soul. Your bedroom life will definitely be filled with passion as well, and also with intimacy that comes from a meeting of minds. You stimulate each other intellectually, and maybe you've always dreamed of someone who could really talk to you, someone who sees the world the way you do, or at least who understands and wishes to continue to understand the way that you see the world. You and your future spouse are totally on the same wavelength. And there's also a message of warmth here, because we can see there is a little sun symbol on this card too. Perhaps this means that one of you is the sun, and the other is the chrysanthemum that enjoys the warmth of the sun. Or perhaps you and your person take turns being the sun and the chrysanthemum. You grow in each other's presence. You glow in each other's love. Number 3 or 9 may also be of significance to you, your person, or to your connection. Or perhaps March or September could be important times for you. Also, I recently did a video about your first or next meeting with your person, and the chrysanthemum was one of the piles, so feel free to watch that reading afterwards if you haven't done so already. Now we come to the card of conjunction with the message alliance. The imagery here is very stunning. It shows migrating geese returning home together. And that is what this relationship feels like. It feels like coming home. A warm hand holding yours, a true alliance where you always have each other's backs, and where decisions are made side by side. You are each other's strength, each other's compass, And conjunction is when two celestial bodies come close together and they combine their powers. This is a case of where you are greater than the sum of your parts, like 1 + 1 is greater than 2. For those of you who do want children, this could be hinting at creating a child together, where 1 + 1 = 3 or more. Either way, the point is the two of you will be accomplishing more together than you ever could alone. And the colors of this card remind me of a cozy sunset. And that is the feeling your future spouse is wanting to convey to you right now. And it's that sense of home and security and warmth and coziness. For some of you, perhaps you enjoy watching sunsets together, or sunsets could be something meaningful for you or your union. The card Heartfire, which is the first card in this deck, adds even more dimension for us. This is the very first card in the journey of love, and it is coming out as a confirmation of that very first spark between you and your future spouse. The fire you two build is not the kind that flickers and dies. It is the kind that grows in your chest every time you look at them and hear their laugh and wake up next to them and run your fingers through their hair. It is the kind that brings tears to your eyes because you know how lucky you are. It is a burning, eternal kind of warmth. This card also carries the energy of creation. Not only will the two of you create a home or a family together, but you'll also be creators in your own and each other's lives. So you might inspire each other's art, writing, work, hobbies, or passions. You may give each other the courage to finally go after the life that you want. And their belief in you will be fierce, and they'll feel the same from you. You will be each other's loudest cheerleader and biggest fan. And finally, for the blue moon card here with the message, believe in the impossible. This connection is one of those once in a blue moon loves. It is rare, unlikely even, or impossible. But here it is, and here you are. This is how your future spouse sees you, as some sort of a miracle, as the living, breathing proof that love like this really does exist. Maybe they had given up on love before you, or maybe this is you who had lost hope on love before meeting them. But against all odds, you are finding each other. Your future spouse is manifesting you just as much as you are manifesting them if you have not yet already met. And for those of you who need to hear this message right now, your future spouse is telling you not to give up because they are searching for you. Don't stop dreaming and don't stop believing in this kind of love and that you deserve it because they are already walking toward you. Together, all these cards tell a story of a union that is rare, enduring, passionate, and full of purpose. It is a relationship that brings warmth and stability, creativity, and soul-deep support for one another. You're not just lovers, you're also allies. You are co-creators, and you're mirrors for each other's growth. And most of all, you are each other's home, because home is where the heart is. So now that we have a wonderful idea of what your connection is like, it is time to receive a whole lot of love from your future spouse. Starting with these two cards, which will tell us about how your future spouse truly sees you. For your first card, we have the twins with the message, self-protection, dual natures. And for your tarot card, we have the Queen of Swords. All right, starting off with the twins. Right away, I have to say, your future spouse feels that you are their twin flame or soulmate. It might be a term that gets thrown around lightly sometimes, but this is honestly how they feel about you. Even if they don't even know what twin flames or soulmates are, it's like that they've been searching through lifetimes for you. You didn't just walk into their life, you showed up as something their soul immediately recognized, maybe even long before their mind could make sense of it. You are the answer to the echo that they've always heard but could never really grasp. Perhaps they see you as very similar to them, and not necessarily in the superficial ways, but in the ways that count the most. For example, you may be matching in your shared values, or your biorhythms, or the way you both want love to feel like peace and partnership and passion. And when they talk about you to others, they say things like, "We just get each other," or "We're always on the same page." And it's not because you are carbon copies of one another, it is because even your differences complement one another. We can see the image on this card with these two circular shapes that remind me of yin and yang. And that is you and your future spouse. You two are the yin and yang. Your future spouse sees you as someone who fits them perfectly. You complement them and you balance each other. This also leads us to the idea of dual natures. Your future spouse sees the layers within you. They see that you are soft and strong, grounded and ethereal. You are light and dark in perfect harmony. You are multi-dimensional to them, and they love all of your sides. The ones that you show the world and the ones that you keep tucked away for just the right person to uncover. They see those hidden parts of you and they don't flinch. In fact, they fall even deeper in love with you. And when it comes to self-protection, this goes two ways. They know you've been through things. They know there are parts of your heart that may have been hurt before, and they respect the way you protect yourself. They understand it, and they have a lot of patience for it. But they want you to know that they will always handle your heart with care. They see you as someone worth protecting, not because you are fragile, but because you are precious to them. You are not a possession to be owned or a problem to be solved. You are their person, and they want to keep you safe and warm and happy. It could be that they also see you as part of them, and when you hurt, they also feel it. When you shine, they bask in your light as well. They would protect you with the same intensity that they would protect themselves, because in their heart, you are one and the same. On the image of this card, we also see these two beautiful red-crowned cranes. These are rare and regal birds, and they symbolize happiness, good luck, fidelity, and longevity. And that is what your future spouse wants with you. They see you as the one and the only one. And they see you as the one person they want to dedicate the rest of their life to. And they want to commit to you, give you happiness forever. And then we have our Queen of Swords. There's so much admiration in this card. Even if they don't mention it to you often with words, your future spouse really admires you so much. They see you as intelligent, like truly intelligent, not just in knowledge, but in emotional intelligence too. They think that you're so good at reading a room, and you can speak your truth. You know what you want, and you won't settle. They think you are so clear and confident, and you are in control of your own destiny, even if you yourself don't think you are good enough at these things, or you are not confident enough or strong enough. Your future spouse looks at you, and they see someone who doesn't need anyone, because you choose to love, and they are so humbled and honored and feel so grateful that you have chosen them to be your person. And yet, even with that strength, your future spouse does not see you as cold, because the Queen of Swords is connected to her heart as well. She doesn't just wear it on her sleeve for anyone. You have boundaries, you have standards, and they love that about you. On the image of this card, we can see a little creature that is white, soft, and bushy-tailed. The first animal that comes to mind to me is a mink. And maybe this is a bit of a stretch, but mink makes me think of minks. So I really think your future spouse also sees you as playful and mesmerizing and seductive. That sparkle in your eye drives them wild. You are the one who can flirt with a glance, and you stop their heart with your smile. Whether you identify as feminine or not, your future spouse is captivated by your allure. To them, there is something so magnetic about you. You have a kind of elegance that is effortless, a charm that doesn't have to be loud to be powerful, and they are totally, completely, absolutely enchanted by you. But above all, what they see when they see you is love. Not just in a romantic sense, but in a soul sense. They see their mirror, they see their match, their muse, their protector, and the one they will do anything to protect. They see their friend and their fire. And they are so, so grateful that in this lifetime they get to walk beside you. Next, then, we shall look into how your future spouse truly feels about you. I have 2 cards here, and for our first card, you got the Diviner with the message, Divine Timing, Evaluation. And our tarot card here is, oh wow, it's the 10 of Swords. Let us begin with the Diviner. There is something about the way your love story unfolded, or will unfold for those of you who have not yet met. And this unfolding feels like it was meant to be. Your future spouse doesn't believe for 1 second that you came into their life by chance. They feel in their soul that you were meant for them. And maybe they didn't always know it. Maybe at first they were just struck by your presence, how captivating you were. But over time, or for a few of you who picked this reading, it was definitely not over time because it just happened instantaneously. Everything just suddenly became clear to your future spouse. And they realized you weren't just another person, you were the person. You were the one that the universe had been carefully guiding them toward all along. And they also feel that you are insightful and in tune with yourself. There is a kind of wisdom in you that humbles them. You have done the inner work, you faced your shadows. You don't just react, you respond from a place of reflection and groundedness. And that makes them feel safe. It makes them trust you with parts of themselves they didn't even know how to name before. They admire you deeply, and perhaps they look to you as kind of an example or as inspiration in their own shadow work and growth journey. There's also an image of a hand holding a seed sprouting in this card. To your future spouse, this is your hand. They feel that you are the kind of person who brings things to life. They feel that your love, your presence, and your essence can bring everything around you into bloom. But now let us move on to the 10 of Swords. This is such an interesting card to come out. This is a card that is supposed to mean pain, defeat, loss, total heartbreak. But in this deck, something beautiful happens. If we take a close look at the image on this card, we see the little prince is holding the fox close in his arms. He is protecting the fox from these swords that have already fallen, but we can clearly see that none of these swords touched the fox. The danger is in the past now. For many of you, your future spouse is this little prince. Or definitely for some, you could be the little prince here. But either way, what this card conveys is a love that protects. If you've been through deep hurt in the past, betrayals, abandonment, loss, your future spouse knows. Maybe you've told them, or maybe they simply felt it in your energy, and they want nothing more than to hold you so close so that no sword, no wound, no echo of old pain can ever reach you again. And their arms are such a safe haven for you, and they want you to rest there, breathe there, and finally feel safe. Or perhaps they're the one who has been through it all, and you came into their life like a light at the end of a long and dark tunnel, and you're the one who held them through the pain and protected them from the swords that wanted to cut them down. Another small detail that I notice from the image on this card is the fact that this setting is actually the little prince's home planet. But in the story, the fox was not from the little prince's home planet. The little prince met the fox on Earth. But here in this image, he has brought the fox home. And this is how your future spouse feels about you. They feel you are where they belong, and more than that, they want to be your safe place too. They want you to feel wrapped up in their love the way the fox is wrapped in the little prince's arms. And they want to be the one who shows you that you are safe with them and nothing can hurt you here. And when they say, "I love you," it is not just 3 words. It is a promise, a protective shield, a vow. And what they feel for you is not fleeting, it is soul deep. It's the kind of love that doesn't just want to be with you, it wants to grow with you and heal with you, protect you, and never ever let you go. Let us take a look now at our next 2 cards, and these will tell us about what your future spouse loves about you. There are definitely many things that they do love about you, so these are just some things in particular that your future spouse wants to mention at this moment. So for our oracle card, we have the Gambler with the message loss, risks. That's very interesting. And for your tarot card, we have the King of Wands. It is very, very interesting to me that the Gambler card is coming at us with a message loss and risks. At first glance, this might sound a bit heavy, but here is what is beautiful about this card. It is not about recklessness. It is about courage. It's about the kind of person who steps forward even when they don't know what's waiting for them on the other side. Your future spouse is so grateful that you took a chance on them. They know that love does not always come wrapped in guarantees. You didn't choose them because it was the easiest or safest path. You chose them because your heart said yes, and that means everything to them. In a world where so many people hold back, you didn't. You leaned in. You bet on love, and you bet on them, and they never stop being grateful for that. Your future spouse also recognizes that you are someone who invests your time, your energy, your heart on the things that matter the most to you. Whether that is a dream, a calling, a cause, a creative spark, you don't wait for perfect conditions. You go, you try. You may fall, but you rise again. And your future spouse loves this fire in you. They love that even if you've experienced loss, even if things haven't always worked out, you still believe and you still have faith. You still keep your heart open. Also, for a few of you who need to hear this right now, your future spouse wants to tell you that even if you've fallen in the past, it's okay to keep believing and taking a chance on love, because they are right around the corner. Then let us take a look at the King of Wands card. This is a card of leadership, passion, charisma, and vision. These are qualities that your person absolutely adores about you. They see the way you carry yourself, the way people are drawn to you. Whether you consider yourself extroverted or not, there is something magnetic about your energy. Maybe it is the way you speak with purpose, or the way your eyes light up when you talk about something you love. Maybe it's the way you can step into a room and hold your own without even trying. And your future spouse notices all of it. To them, you have the kind of spark that inspires others. You don't just dream, you ignite. You make people want to do better, be braver, try harder. And even when you don't realize it, you are setting things into motion. Some of you might be the natural leader type, whether in your work, your community, your relationships. You step up when others step back, and you don't shy away from responsibility. And your future spouse deeply respects that. They trust your vision, they believe in your sense of direction, and it makes them feel proud to walk beside you. And this energy here connects back to the earlier part of our reading when we saw the heart fire energy. The warmth, the intensity, the passion that lives in you. Your future spouse loves how alive you are and how you love without holding back. And your courage to love them, to love this life, to keep showing up even after being hurt, that is what moves them the most. And that is what makes them reach for your hand in the middle of the night just to feel your skin against theirs. Because your union with your future spouse is based on a love that chooses. And this love chooses deliberately and boldly and without fear. And finally, we have these last two cards to show us some things your future spouse wants to promise you. Again, we cannot cover everything they want to promise you because there are so many things, but we will list a few key ones that they want to mention to you in particular at this moment. So for our first oracle card, this is the Smith with the message overthinking, taking action. And the tarot card we have is the Hierophant. Starting with the Smith card, right away we can tell that this card is describing a person who does not just love with words, they love with action. This is someone who promises to roll up their sleeves and do what it takes to build a life with you, not just during the honeymoon phase, but in all the everyday nitty-gritty moments that come after. They are ready to show up day after day, effort after effort, and with all the love that they can offer. This is someone who wants to build with you, not just a physical home, but also, and more so, an emotional home. A life you can both feel proud of, and they want to put in the time, the energy, and all of the hard stuff that's required. The sweat, the stress, the late nights talking through things, the compromises, the adjustments. They won't be scared to do any of it. Their promise to you is that they will do the work, not just for you, but with you. And there's also something I want to mention about the overthinking word on this card. For some of you, this might reflect a tendency that you could have. Maybe you tend to spiral sometimes, get stuck in your head, worry about all the what ifs. If that is true, your future spouse promises that they will help to anchor you, that they will be the voice of calm when your mind is racing, that they will gently pull you back to the present and remind you that you are not alone and you don't have to carry the burden of uncertainty all by yourself. For others of you, this card could tell us about what your future spouse is thinking, and they are thinking about you always. Their promise is that before making any big decision, they will think about you, about what is best for both of you, about what is going to protect and nurture your relationship. Their love is very thoughtful and it is very considerate. I really like this Smith card. There is such a tender, grounded, and humble energy here. Your future spouse isn't flashy about their promises. They don't want the spotlight, they just want you. They want to offer the best of themselves, even if it's not perfect, even if it's a little rough around the edges. There is so much humility here. It's like your future spouse is saying, I may not be everything, but everything that I am, I give to you. And then we have the Hierophant. This is one of the most powerful cards when it comes to long-term commitment. This is the card of marriage, of spiritual bonds, of showing up again and again. When your future spouse promises you their love, they're not promising you just the feeling of love. They're promising their dedication and taking responsibility and showing up. In your union, they promise to be so devoted. They won't take you for granted, and they'll always show up for you, even on all the hard days, and especially on the hard days. They will be the kind of partner who holds your hand in the dark, who washes the dishes without being asked, who remembers the little things that matter to you and all your quirks and all the things that make you smile. They promise to take responsibility for this relationship, not in a burdensome kind of way, but in the way someone does when they know they're holding something precious. That was such a beautiful and warm reading. I hope you enjoyed all these wonderful messages from your future spouse. And now, to complete this reading today, please allow me to read for you the sky blue channeled wedding vows from your future spouse. Even if your future spouse isn't someone who usually expresses themselves with words, these vows represent their deepest emotions and everything they want you to know. My love, from the moment our paths crossed, I knew. I didn't know how I knew, and I didn't have the words then, but I knew in my heart that you were the one who would shift the course of my life. And you looked at me and saw someone worth choosing, worth loving, worth building a life with. You with your love, your dreams, your courage, your depth. You who holds entire worlds in your mind and still finds space to hold me. You are the kind of person who can take a single seed of an idea and grow it into something beautiful, who can take emptiness and fill it with color, with feeling, with meaning. Loving you is such a wonderful feeling that words cannot come close to describing. You taught me what it means to be held, not just in someone's arms, but in their heart. You have seen parts of me I used to hide, parts I didn't even understand myself. And instead of turning away, you leaned in, you stayed, you loved me through it. So today, after everything we've walked through to get here, I make these promises to you. I promise to honor the tenderness in you, the parts that have been broken and rebuilt. I know what it took for you to arrive here with your heart still open, and I will never take that for granted. I promise to protect your joy, the same way you protect the joy in others, to remind you of your magic if you ever forget, to lift you when life feels heavy. And when you need a safe place to rest, I will be your shelter. I promise to believe in your dreams with you and to build them alongside you, not only with words, but with action, with my hands, my time, my care, my presence, and my heart. We will build something lasting, something real. I promise to show up even when it's hard. I will choose you again and again, not just on the easy days, but on the days we are tired and human and flawed. I will still choose you because you are my home. I promise to listen, to learn you over and over, to give you the space to grow and change, and to grow with you. I will never stop wanting to know your heart. And when your fire burns too hot or too low, I will not fear it. I will sit with you in the flicker, in the silence, in the storm. I will tend the flame with you always. The way you love me is a kind of art. So let this be my masterpiece. The way I love you, the life we create. The ordinary days we will fill with happiness, laughter, and devotion. I will be the canvas you can paint on, and the steady hand that holds yours when the lines blur. You are my one and only, and today I vow to love you with all that I am. From now until always, your future spouse. Those are all the beautiful messages I have for you today. Now that your heart is full with love from your future spouse, it is the perfect time to channel that energy into manifesting them with the guided meditation I made for you, which you can find at the timestamp in the description. There was so much love from your future spouse. I hope you felt their heartfelt messages and enjoyed the reading. Absolutely feel free to claim all the messages you would like. Please remember this is a general reading, so no worries if not every single message was for you. All of us have the ability to shape our own destinies and paths. So if there is something you don't like in your reading, trust that you absolutely do have the power to influence and change it. Please let me know in the comments below if things resonated for you, and please feel free to leave a like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and I will see you in the next one. This reading is for those of you who have chosen the Sunshine Yellow Wedding Vow Scroll. Thank you for joining me and welcome to your reading all about your union and marriage with your future spouse and the wedding vows from them to you. Let us dive into the juicy details of your future marriage, what the vibe of your relationship will be, what makes your person swoon over you, and the promises they want to make to you. We will also get their confessions about how they see you and what makes them fall for you. And the best part at the end, I will be reading the Sunshine Yellow Channeled Wedding Vows from your future spouse to you. At the end of this video, you will also find a guided meditation that I made to help you channel all the love energy you will receive from this reading into manifesting your future spouse. You can find the timestamp down below. Starting the reading off, I have 2 oracle cards here to give us an energy check to help confirm that you are at the right reading. One of these cards represents you and the other represents your person. This will tell us the energy each person embodies in the general world. Feel free to decide which person is you and which person is your future spouse. And if by chance you feel like both sides resonate for you, it's quite likely that you and your future spouse will be strongly mirroring each other. So for our first card, we got the Warrior with the message Perfectionism, Burnout. And for the second card, it is the Astronomer with the message Discovery, Augury. Let us meet our first person here, which is the Warrior. This person in many ways is quite a force of nature. They are someone who might tend to push themselves very hard. They demand excellence from themselves, maybe even to a fault. Their card carries the message of perfectionism and burnout. And already we can see that this is someone who is strong, yes, but that strength can take quite a toll on them. In this deck, the Warrior belongs to the group called the Academy, which is made up of thinkers, seekers, learners. So even though the word warrior might make you think of brute strength or action, there is just as much mind in this person as there is strength. So this card is ruled by air energy, which means this warrior person could be an air sign, or perhaps they have many air-type qualities, such as high intelligence, decisiveness, and clarity. Perhaps this person is always chasing understanding, always wanting to make things better. This warrior person could also appear cold or tough on the outside, because they may have a strong exterior. But I think they are actually rather sensitive on the inside because of the words perfectionism and burnout. They likely have very high expectations for themselves and can be way too tough on themselves. I do feel that this person carries fire energy too. That is what makes this person so magnetic and so compelling. There is a certain kind of boldness in them. They are the kind of person who will charge into the storm for someone they love. They will fight battles that they did not start simply because they can't bear to see someone they love in pain. They are very protective, and they are generous too, so generous that sometimes they might give until there's nothing left. Perhaps for some of you watching, you know what I mean when I say this is a person who has been taken advantage of in love before. This person is such a giver in relationships, even if it might drain them and burn them out. They are probably always willing to help or offer their energy. Perhaps in a past relationship, they might have been giving everything and they were left with almost nothing in return. And for a few of you, perhaps this person could be quite cautious now when it comes to relationships so as to not get hurt so deeply again. And that is why they might wear armor now, because if we look at the image on this card, we can see a ring of tools and weapons like a circle of defense. This person has learned to protect themselves, but I don't think that means they've stopped hoping. In fact, what makes them really remarkable is how they keep loving, even if they have been hurt before. And this warrior person is very brave and selfless. When they devote to someone, they're not afraid to give their everything, even though they have been burned in the past. But now they are just much more wise, and they know to be more selective and to be holding their standards true. This ring of tools may also mean that the warrior person could be quite multi-talented. They've likely picked up many skills along the way, either out of passion or out of necessity. And this person is dedicated and disciplined because it takes a lot of hard work and blood and sweat and tears to become a skilled warrior. They could be someone who's like a jack of all trades, but perhaps underneath all that competency is maybe a tired heart that just wants something real, someone to rest with, and someone that they can trust. The image here also reminds me of the Wheel of Fortune, which tells us that this person has fortune on their side, or they're someone who is brave enough to face fate head on. They're not afraid to spin the Wheel of Fortune and take on whatever prize or challenge they may receive. And now let us meet the astronomer. This person is also part of the Academy group, and our astronomer is ruled by air energy too. But immediately the tone of this astronomer card feels quite different from the tone of the warrior card. The astronomer brings quietness and stillness. They don't rush into battle. Instead, they stand at the edge of the world and they look up. They seek to understand before they act, and their message is discovery and augury. Augury, which means seeing the future through signs, tells us that this person is someone who notices everything. They might notice the way the light shifts before a storm, or the change in someone's tone when they're trying not to cry. The astronomer is someone who can notice the truth behind what is not being said. They are probably very watchful, intuitive, and also quite curious. This is the kind of person who could stay up late researching some obscure subject and then fall into a rabbit hole, or someone who finds magic in everyday and simple things. They might love bird watching, maybe stargazing, or people watching, or some other kind of quiet but observational kind of activity. Not because they're nosy, but I think it's because they are fascinated by the world. They want to know, and they want to understand why people do what they do, and they want to understand what makes people tick and what gives life meaning. For many of you who picked this reading, it could also be that the astronomer is the one who is better between these two at recognizing this connection in its early stages. The astronomer might already have been a powerful manifester, and they had already been manifesting the warrior. So when the warrior appeared in their life, the astronomer maybe knew exactly who this was and where this connection was headed. Now here is the most beautiful thing. Both of these people, both the warrior and the astronomer, are part of the Academy group, and they are both seekers. They want to understand. They want to move the world forward, to do something that matters. One may use more action and the other is more observation, but their values, their core motivations are very well aligned. Even the imagery of the cards further confirms the alignment between these two people. On the Warrior's card, we see a black circle on a white background. And on the Astronomer's card, we see a white circle on a black background. This is like yin and yang. Opposites, yes, but opposites that complete and complement each other. It's like two puzzle pieces finally clicking into place. Where one charges in bravely, the other pauses to think. Where one burns hot, the other is soothing and reflective. It is balanced and it is harmonious. Seeing everything that we have here, it's likely that this could very well be an opposites attract kind of love. You might feel like you and your future spouse are different in so many ways. Maybe different personalities, different strengths, different ways of handling stress or emotion. But beneath all that, there is a certain sameness in your soul, a shared way of moving through the world, maybe, or a shared desire to understand, to grow, and to give. And that is what binds you two. It could also be that you and your future spouse embody the attraction of masculine and feminine. Regardless of how you identify within your relationship, one of you could be strongly masculine while the other is strongly feminine, and so you two fit together very perfectly. There is that magical push and pull that magnetizes your connection and draws you into each other like the yin and yang. And this also tells us that the chemistry between you two will be incredible, and you will definitely enjoy an amazing connection mentally, emotionally, and of course, physically as well. So, if this is sounding like your story, you have chosen the right reading. Otherwise, please feel free to try another reading that you may have been drawn to. Now then, we have these two tarot cards to tell us about how you and your future spouse are like with each other within your relationship and marriage. So this is talking about the energy that you and your future spouse bring into your connection, and it could even show us a side of you or your future spouse that you may not show to the outside world. And although you two will be coming together in your union, you are not two halves forming a whole. Instead, you are two whole beings coming together to create infinite possibilities and abundance. But you two will form a single unit and partnership. So it could be, for these two cards, one card represents each person, or perhaps it is that both cards represent both of you together in your relationship and marriage. Either way, these two cards reveal the energy you and your person bring into the relationship and reserve for each other. So for our first card, we have... wow, it is the Two of Cups. And for our other card, there is the Six of Swords. Let us jump into the Two of Cups, which is one of the most beautiful cards to receive in a love reading. This is a soulmate card. It is about emotional harmony and deep romantic connection, and that sense of being seen and loved just as you are. This is not a flashy kind of love. This is a deeply rooted love, and it is reciprocal, and it is generous. It's the kind of partnership where both people show up with open hearts and open hands. No games and no holding back. The person represented by the Two of Cups is someone who is all in when it comes to love. This could be you, or maybe it's your future spouse, or maybe both of you. This person is affectionate, romantic, devoted, and they bring a sweetness into the relationship that makes every moment feel meaningful. It might be that this person is someone who plans thoughtful surprises, like little notes tucked in your bag, or romantic dinners, or camping under the stars. Yes, maybe it's a little bit cheesy, but hey, deep down, don't we all kind of want that sappy love? And just look at the image on this card. It shows the little prince gently watering his rose. Water represents emotion. Water is devotion. This person is the little prince, taking gentle care of their rose. They don't love you just for your petals or your perfume. They love you for your thorns too. And they tend to you with so much tenderness day after day. Now, the Six of Swords shows us something even softer, but equally sweet. This is the energy of healing, of transition, of leaving behind the storm and entering still and peaceful waters. The person represented by this card is someone who has known chaos or hardship, but they have crossed the river, so to speak. And in this relationship, they can finally feel safe to exhale and let their guard down. The imagery on this card is very moving, and it makes me feel a little bit emotional every time I see it. We can see that the pilot is carrying the little prince to the well. It represents someone offering their presence, their patience, and their protection without asking for anything in return. The little prince is exhausted and has no energy left to walk. The pilot is also worn and weary, but he still offers to carry the little prince on his back, and he makes the trek through the harsh desert, and he protects the little prince from the sandstorms and the dangers of all these falling swords. This person might be a little bit more introverted or cautious in how they show affection, but make no mistake, because they will always be there for their partner. They don't just tell you they're here for you. They live up to it with their actions day after day. They are the steady hand on your back and the person who notices when you're tired before you even say a word. And they're the kind of partner who wants to build a life of peace and calm and safety and security. They are willing to take on the hard tasks and shoulder the burdens, not because they have to, but because love to them means showing up in the moments that matter the most, even when no one is watching. Just like the pilot in this card, he is not driven by recognition or praise. He is driven by care. That deep, quiet kind of care that isn't flashy, that isn't loud, but it speaks through selfless actions. And the pilot knows the desert is harsh. He knows he's tired too, but he also knows the little prince needs him, and that is enough to give him the power to carry on. This person here does not shy away from responsibility. In fact, they often are more than willing to take on more than their share, simply because they can't bear to see someone they love struggle. And they're perhaps the type who would fix your flat tire in the cold without a complaint. Or they might stay up all night making sure you are okay, even when they have work early in the morning. They don't demand attention, but they do deserve it, because everything they do is rooted in simple love and devotion. They like to lead with humility and protect with tenderness, and love with a depth that goes beyond words. Their presence is so reassuring and comforting. I get the feeling that for many of you who picked this reading, the Six of Swords energy could be referring to the warrior person. This person may have spent a long time in their life with their sword drawn and their armor protecting their heart. But in this union, with this love, they can finally lay their weapons down, and they don't have to fight anymore. They don't have to defend anymore. They can finally rest, they can be soft, they can be held, and they can shed their protective shell and just be who they are. Wow, I really love the energy of this union between you and your future spouse. One of you brings the warmth, the romantic gestures, the emotional expression. You create the space for love to grow with intention and with affection. And the other brings calm and patience and so much empathy and emotional safety. This person is the harbor, or perhaps both of you share both of these qualities and you take care of each other. Together, you and your future spouse create a love that is vibrant and nurturing. This is a relationship that can really weather life's storms, and you can bask in its sunshine together. You bring out each other's best selves, not by changing one another, but by accepting one another. And this is the kind of marriage where both people feel more free, if that makes any sense. Like you feel more yourselves. Because this relationship is full of balance and sweetness and peace. It is what happens when the warrior puts down their sword and the astronomer lowers their telescope, and both simply turn toward each other with their hearts wide open. Let us now take a look at these oracle cards that will tell us more about the dynamics of your relationship and marriage. I'll show you all of them first, and then I shall go through each one in detail. Starting with our first card here, which is the crocus with the message cheerfulness. It is spring again. The earth is like a child that knows poems by heart. That's really cute. And then we got House 8 with the message transformation, karma, facing fears and legacies. Next up we have refinement, which is represented by the dahlia with the number 42. And then you got Uranus with the message change. We also have Legacy of Light, which is number 53. And last, but certainly not least, there is Full Moon in Aquarius with the message show the world the real you. These cards help us feel into what is really like between you two, and they will tell us about the energy and the way your love transforms each of you and heals both of you. So starting with our crocus card, there is something so sweet about the energy between you and your future spouse. No matter how serious or composed you may need to be in your day-to-day life, whether for work or family matters or simply the weight of adult responsibilities, your relationship feels like a return to youth, back to basics, and back to the common, simple, beautiful things. A return to the innocence and joy you thought the world had long taken away from you. When you're with each other, you don't need to fulfill a role that society or duties require of you. You don't need to wear the masks that you wear for everyone else. You can giggle, you can be weird, you can tease each other, dance badly, make up silly inside jokes that nobody else understands. And that in itself is so special. This card is springtime energy, literal or metaphorical. Maybe you meet or get married in the springtime, or maybe this is referring to emotional spring, which is talking about a new beginning after a long winter in your hearts. Either way, this love brings you back to life. It doesn't mean everything is always sunny. Spring definitely has its fair share of rain. But those spring showers feed your roots because the flowers and fruit need the rainwater to grow. The challenges you face don't break you, they strengthen you, and you two can grow together. Moving on to our House 8 card, this card confirms that your relationship isn't just sweet, it is also deep. The 8th house is the house of transformation, of facing the darkest parts of yourself and still being able to love yourself and allow yourself to be loved. You and your future spouse likely will both have past pain, but you will not dump it on the other person. No, you will each take responsibility for your own healing, but you walk through it together, holding each other's hand. You don't avoid the hard stuff, you face it and you share it. This is also the house of intimacy, emotional and physical intimacy. So there is undeniable chemistry between you two. The fire is strong with this one. Your physical connection will feel electrifying, even years into your relationship. But more than that, I think the way you emotionally and spiritually combine with each other is what makes it so safe to go deeper than you have ever done before. If your future spouse is the warrior person, then this is especially significant. They may have been closed off before because they were hurt, and so they became guarded. But with you, they choose to be brave, they choose to transform, and this love is what makes that possible. And if we take a look at the image on this card, we see a bleak winter scene with dry tree branches, but we also see that there is a single blooming rose. And this reminds us again of our springtime theme. This relationship is where things finally start to blossom after a long emotional drought. Next is our refinement card. This is number 42, and 42 reduces to 6, which in numerology speaks of harmony, nurturing, and balance, all of which are themes that will be in your union. This 6 also is affirmation for our 6 of Swords energy from earlier. This is a relationship that invites growth. It is not forced or pressured, but it is very natural. You both become better versions of yourselves just by loving each other, and you will both refine yourselves. We also see on this card that there is a Scorpio symbol, and this again links to House 8 and the idea of transformation. There is also an image of a mortar and pestle, mixing herbs into what could be a healing salve. This tells us that you and your future spouse will have a love that heals, the kind where when you bury your face in their hug after a long day, all of your troubles just melt away. Or when it's time to go to bed and maybe they fall asleep first, and you just spend a few moments watching your person looking so peaceful and cozy, and listening to their breath or the sound of their heartbeat, and you just feel such a sense of belonging right there next to them. This card also represents air energy. Even when you are different, you and your future spouse think in alignment. You care about the same values. You want the same kind of life. You refine yourselves, but also your relationship. And you're always shaping it into something more intentional and beautiful and more the two of you. And this refinement card talks about abundance too. For some of you, this may be quite literal. You too may have the resources to enjoy life's finer luxuries. But even if it's not about money, your union will feel abundant in meaning and love and joy. Next up, let us look at the Uranus card. This is a planet which spins differently than all the other planets. It moves to its own rhythm, and it is unique and one of a kind. This tells us that your love with your future spouse is incredibly special and unique. Even if you or your person has had relationships in the past, nothing before can even hold a candle to this one. This redefines your sense of what is possible in a love connection. It might even arrive suddenly or as a surprise because of how quickly and deeply it can change you. And for the warrior in this story here, this is yet another nudge that they are undergoing deep personal change, and that the astronomer is a key part of that journey. And this will not be toxic codependence. No, this is encouragement, this is support, and this is inspiration. Moving on to our Legacy of Light card. This card is a beautiful continuation of our House 8 message. The idea of legacy comes through strongly again. Your union isn't just about your personal love story. It will be also about the mark that two of you will leave on the world. Whether it is a business, maybe a creative project, healing others through your work, or even creating a child or children, your marriage becomes the fertile ground for something that lives beyond you. And for the numbers on this card, 5 represents change and 3 is expansion. 5 plus 3 is also 8, which reconfirms our message of house 8. Perhaps 8 or August is an important number or time for your connection. And last but not least, we will be taking a look at our full moon in Aquarius. There will be no pretending in this relationship. There will be no masks, no pressure to be anything other than exactly who you are. Full moons represent culmination and release. And so that tells us when you two come together, it will really feel like something important is finally at its peak. And with each other, you will both be able to release. You can let go of the roles that the world expected you to play. You can feel safe enough to show each other your truest faces. And then with each other and side by side, you show the world the real you. No more hiding, no shrinking, just authenticity. And this is a love that lets you breathe easier and laugh harder or heal deeper. It is equal parts play and passion. It is silly but also committed. It is the kind of love that maybe you never thought you would find, but always hoped that you would. So now that we have a feel for this wonderful connection, it is time to receive a whole lot of love from your future spouse. Starting with these two cards, they will tell us about how your future spouse truly sees you. Our first card is the Scholar with the message investigation, research. And for your tarot card, we got Temperance. Starting with our Scholar card. To your future spouse, you are brilliant. The Scholar card shows us how in awe they are of your mind, of your focus, and your depth. They see you as someone who does not just skim the surface. You dive in and you investigate, you explore, you learn with intensity and curiosity. They think you are just brilliant, not necessarily in the academic way, though maybe many of you do have high education degrees. But your future spouse thinks you are brilliant in the way you understand things, in the way you pick up on details, the way your questions go deeper than most people's answers. It might even be that your profession or field of interest is completely different from theirs, and they are so intrigued when you are in your element. They think you look so cool when you are in your field. But this isn't just about intellect. The Scholar archetype is also about dedication. Your future spouse sees how hard you work for what matters to you. They admire the discipline and passion you pour into your interests, your goals, and the people you care about. You don't need to be in the spotlight to prove your worth. Your values shine through the way you show up, the way you listen, and the way you understand. And maybe no one else ever really saw this in you before. Maybe people only saw the results, but not the soul behind them. But your future spouse sees it all. They're paying attention to you, and so they notice all the details about you, and they admire you and think you are just incredible. Moving on to the Temperance card, I honestly feel this card is so beautiful in this particular context. Temperance shows us how your future spouse sees you not just as brilliant, but also balanced. This is a very peaceful card. It represents calmness and integration, as well as harmony. And your future spouse sees you as someone who brings all of those energies into their life like a blessing. When they're out in the world, life might feel chaotic, noisy, always pulling them in 100 different directions maybe. But to your person, you are the still point. You are the one who never makes them feel like they need to rush or perform or put on a mask. You are grounded and secure in who you are, and that radiates out into your relationship. You bring the sense of emotional equilibrium into their world, and they know they can count on you, not just to be there, but to be present, to be kind, and to be steady. There's also a powerful image on this card, which shows the little prince and the pilot who have finally reached the well. You might remember that earlier in the reading, in the Six of Swords card, we saw the image showed the pilot carrying the little prince toward the well, through stormy skies and harsh desert sands. But now, with the Temperance, they have arrived and they can finally drink the water that will replenish and revive them. And this is how your future spouse truly sees you. You are their well of fresh, healing water. You are the sweet water that quenches their soul's thirst. After so much searching, so much surviving, your future spouse has finally found you, and you are the one who fills their cup. And the truth is, for many of you who picked this reading, your future spouse probably never thought they would find someone like you. Someone so complete in who they are, but also willing to share that completeness with someone else. They see you as someone who listens with patience, speaks with purpose, and loves with both fire but also gentleness. You inspire them to be better, not because they feel pressured, but they are doing it out of admiration and inspiration. And in their eyes, being loved by you is one of the greatest honors of their life. So that is how they see you. They see you as a brilliant, beautiful soul who never stops seeking, and you are so soothing like the waters of temperance. And that is so beautiful. I can feel there is so much love for you from your future spouse. And let's get into more of it now with these two cards that will tell us about how your future spouse truly feels about you. Starting with our oracle card, we got the Wise One with the message Tradition, Order. And our tarot card is the Nine of Pentacles. Beginning with the Wise One card, your future spouse feels that you are so wise and grounded in a world that can often feel chaotic and uncertain. When everything else seems to be swirling out of control, you are the one who brings order and calm back into the picture. Even if your future spouse is the kind of person who's not exactly vocal about their feelings all the time, inside their heart, they really admire you for your strength and the steadiness that you embody. You may be the one who is more deeply connected with your inner self. Maybe you are more in tune with your emotions, with your intuition, and with your inner growth. And your future spouse looks up to you for that. You serve as their example, guiding them and inspiring them, and also encouraging them on their own inner journey. They trust your wisdom and they value your perspective. And even in moments when they may stumble or doubt themselves, they know that you will be there for them. And as for our Nine of Pentacles, this card shows someone who has built their life through their own power and effort. Someone who stands in their own abundance and confidence, surrounded by the fruits of their labor. This card speaks of independence and success as well as self-reliance. Your future spouse feels this way about you. They recognize that you have worked hard, that you have cultivated your own path, and that you have what it takes to stand tall on your own 2 feet. There is a lot of pride in their heart when they look at you. Pride that you've achieved so much with your own strength and your own determination. There are such feelings of celebration that come from this image on this card. Your person is rooting for you. They like to cheer you on, and they celebrate your victories as if they were their own. This is a love that admires not only who you are, but also the journey you have taken to become you. And for a few of you who picked this reading, it is possible that your future spouse is the Nine of Pentacles, in that they have all 9 pentacles, which represents all the aspects of their life that they have fulfilled. But all along, they were missing just one. They were missing you, and you are the wise one to make everything whole. Together, these 2 cards are showing us that your future spouse's feelings run very deep, with so much respect, pride, and a heartfelt recognition of your strength and wisdom. They see you as their grounding force. You're the one who makes life make sense. And they see you as their equal and as their partner in everything. You inspire them, you steady them, and in their eyes, you are just incredible. Moving on to these next two cards, these will tell us about what your future spouse truly loves about you. I want to note that this is not every single thing they love about you, because there are so many things that they do love. There's no way we can cover all of them. So these are just some things in particular that your future spouse wants you to know at this moment. So starting with our oracle card, there is the King with a message, control, reversal of fortune. And for the tarot card we got, wow, it is the Ten of Cups. Let us start with our King card. Your future spouse really loves the way you take control of your own life. You are someone who, even when you're faced with challenges or when the odds seem to be stacked up against you, you refuse to be defeated. Instead, you carve your own path. You forge ahead with determination and strength. And there's a powerful energy in this card. This is the kind of energy that says, I am the captain of my own ship. But there's also a balance here, because despite your strength and control, you are not arrogant or domineering, because the Ten of Cups came out together with this King card. This tells us that your future spouse loves that you carry yourself with a sweetness and softness that really touches those around you, especially your future spouse. They really love this about you, and they love that you are grounded and capable, but also so warm and gentle. You bring a calm confidence into the relationship, and no matter what life throws at you, you will handle it with grace and resilience together. This is not just admiration for your strength. This is deep understanding and appreciation for how you use your strength with kindness and humility. The Ten of Cups also shows us what your future spouse treasures most deeply about you, and that is the love, the happiness, and the emotional fulfillment that you bring into their life. In the card, we can see this image of the little prince, and he has returned to his home planet, and he is surrounded by his beloved sheep, the fox, and his rose, which are all symbols of comfort, loyalty, and love. This is a homecoming. This is a return to a place where the heart feels safe and nourished and complete. Your future spouse feels the sense of home in you. And with you, they have found not just a partner, but also a safe place where their heart can rest, where they feel understood and loved without condition. And finally, with these last two cards, we shall see what things your future spouse wants to promise you. Again, this is not everything they want to promise you. It's just a few that they want to mention in particular to you at this very moment. Our oracle card is the Adventurer with message, responsibility, expectations. And our tarot card is the Eight of Wands. Starting with the Adventurer, your future spouse is making a bold promise to explore the world with you. They want to share with you every adventure and every discovery life has to offer. This isn't just about traveling the world, though that may be part of it for some of you, but this is more about approaching every moment together as an opportunity for excitement and growth and exploration. Your future spouse also wants to promise to meet and exceed the expectations you have for them in this marriage. There is a deep sense of responsibility in their heart. They know what it takes to build a strong partnership, and they are ready to step up with dedication and love. Even in the quiet, everyday little moments, like doing the dishes together or sharing a lazy Sunday at home, your future spouse vows that there will be never a dull moment. because the real adventure is you two together. Your future spouse wants to make every ordinary moment extraordinary. And if we look closely at this card's imagery, we can see that the moon here and stars here shining in the background. I think this is such a sweet promise. Your future spouse wants to promise you the moon and the stars. They want to give you everything you could ever want, ever need, or dream of. And they want to be your light in the darkness. And as for our Eight of Wands here, this card really complements the adventurer's message. It is doubling down on the promises of passion, partnership, and unwavering support. Your future spouse promises to always be there to fill your heart and spirit with their love and with their light. If you ever find yourself feeling lost, discouraged, or weary, they will be right there to relight your lamp, to reignite your inner fire and remind you of your strength and your brilliance. The image on this card shows people from different cultures gathered around a lamp, and they're working together to light it up. This speaks of collaboration. So this tells us your future spouse promises not only to be your lover, but also your partner in every sense. They are committed to working with you, co-creating with you, creating your shared life, and building something that shines brighter because of both of your contributions. I also noticed that the image for this Eight of Wands card looks extremely similar to the volcano in the Adventurer card, especially the fire that burns. And this fire energy tells us that your future spouse wants to promise you passion and creativity, as well as inspiration, chemistry, and a very sensual connection as well. Together, these cards reveal that your future spouse wants to promise you more than just words. They want to promise action, presence, and a life that is full of meaning and adventure. They vow to be your steady flame in the darkest nights and your partner in every journey, whether grand or humble. They want to share everything with you. They want to share the wonders of the world and the quiet comforts of home as well. This promise is about passion, about responsibility, and joy and collaboration. All of that wrapped up in the warmth of a love with a flame that never gets extinguished. The fire energy of these cards tells us your future spouse is ready to ignite a life with you that burns bright with love, with adventure, and with deep connection. They really just want to build a union where both your hearts shine together and you can lift each other higher every day. Wow, these are such wonderful love confessions and gentle promises that we were able to receive for you from your future spouse. So to top everything off today, I would love to read for you the Sunshine Yellow channeled wedding vows from your future spouse. Even if they are the quiet or mysterious type, these are the vows they truly want to say straight from their soul. My beloved, before you, I was good at keeping myself at a distance. I told myself I was fine. I kept busy. I put on a smile, even when things hurt. But then you came along, and you didn't try to fix me. You didn't push. You stayed. You saw right through me, gently, like sunlight through fog. And you continue to see me, not just the armor I wear or the battles I win, but the heart beneath it all. And I promise to always see you in that same light, to see your brilliance, your kindness, your beauty. If I'm honest, I was scared to let you in, scared of being known, scared of messing it up, scared that if you saw the parts of me I've spent years avoiding, you might leave. But you didn't. You are so gentle, so wise, so loving, and you have given me the courage to set down my weapons and stand before you without my armor. You are the calm after my storm, the steady presence that meets my energy with patience and kindness. You make me want to be better, to soften, to grow. So here I am now, fully and imperfectly me, and I promise to never take you for granted. I don't have all the answers. I don't always know how to be soft or easy or put together. But I do know this. I want to build a life with you. Not a perfect one, just a real one. A life where we hold each other when the weight gets heavy. A life where we argue and apologize and laugh until we can't breathe. A life where we try and succeed and fail and try again. You are the only person I've ever wanted to let this close. The only one I've wanted to see me not just at my best, but at every point. And I promise I will hold you with the same tenderness you hold me. I will be your mirror when you forget who you are. I will be your anchor when you're drifting. And when everything feels like too much, I'll still be here, arms open, no matter what. You've taught me that love isn't about perfection. It's about staying, choosing, showing up again and again. So that's what I'm vowing today. I choose you over and over, on the sunny days and the rainy ones. You are my home, the only place I've ever truly belonged, and I will spend the rest of my life trying to be worthy of the way you love me. I vow to keep learning how to love you better, to be real with you, raw with you, to protect you. I vow to share with you all the adventures life has to offer, the grand explorations and the quiet moments too. Whether we are chasing stars across distant skies or simply sharing laughter in the comfort of our home, I promise to make every moment with you full of joy, passion, and light. I give you my heart, always, your future spouse. Wow, those are all the messages I have for you today. And now that your heart is so full with love from your future spouse, this is the perfect time to channel that energy into manifesting them. And you can do that with the help of the guided meditation that I made for you, and you can find the timestamp in the description. I hope you enjoyed receiving all the love and warmth from your future spouse. Do not hesitate to claim all the messages you would like. And please remember, this is a general reading, so if not every single message was for you, that is absolutely all right. As well, we all have the ability to shape our own destinies and paths. So if there's something you don't like in your reading, trust that you do have the power to change it. Please let me know in the comments below if things resonated for you, and please feel free to leave a like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and I will see you in the next one. This reading is for those of you who have chosen the Lavender Purple Wedding Vow Scroll. Thank you for joining me, and welcome to your reading all about your union with your future spouse and the wedding vows they have for you. We will take a gentle look into the heart of your future union, the kind of love you'll share, the way your future spouse sees you through their eyes, and the emotions they hold but may never say out loud. You will hear their confessions, their adoration, and the promises they want to make. And to complete this confession of love, I'll be reading to you the Lavender Purple channeled wedding vows from them. At the end of the video, you will also find a guided meditation that I made to help you channel all of the love energy you will receive from this reading into manifesting your future spouse. You can find the timestamp down below as well. Let us jump right into this reading with these two oracle cards, and they will give us an energy check to help confirm that you have found the right reading. For this, one of these cards represents you, and the other card represents your person. This will tell us the energy each person embodies in the general world. You can determine which card is you and which card is your future spouse. And if you do feel like both sides resonate for you, it's quite likely that you and your future spouse could be strongly mirroring each other. Starting with our first card, you got the Archer with a message, biding your time, planning ahead. And for our second card, there is the Storyteller with a message, viewpoints, control. Wow, I'm excited about this pair already. Let us start with our Archer. This is air energy, all about steady focus and quiet strength. The Archer person is most likely someone that others would describe as having it all together. Their life seems carefully ordered. They don't rush and they don't waste their aim. Everything about them is intentional, well thought out, and deliberate. They might be an air sign, which would be Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, or they carry air qualities, such that they are intelligent, they are reflective, they are strategic. They are also a seeker of knowledge, and they always want to better themselves. They want to know the why behind things. They're likely drawn to philosophy or the sciences or systems or anything that allows them to explore patterns and meaning. This is someone who is always improving, not because they feel like they are not enough, but because they believe growth is their responsibility. And yet, despite this calm and focused exterior, there's something maybe a little bit rebellious about them. If we look closely at the image of this Archer card, you can see that the bow here is shaped like two wings. Underneath that controlled, composed exterior, this person dreams of flying. They dream of freedom, and they long to run wild sometimes. Not recklessly, I don't think, but freely. It's possible this person may have had to grow up too quickly. Maybe they are the eldest sibling, or someone their family or friends or colleagues tend to rely on. Or maybe their work or upbringing shaped them into someone who puts pressure on themselves to be the one who always holds it together. They may come off as a little distant at times, but it's not that they don't feel. It's that they simply don't often let it show. It takes time and it takes trust for them to let somebody in. But here is what is important. When they do let someone special in, it is because they've chosen that person with the full force of their mind and their heart. The Archer does not shoot randomly. They wait, they watch, and when they know, they know. On the other side, we have the Storyteller. This person is represented by water energy. There is heart-centered presence here. There is flow and warmth here as well. The Storyteller person is very different from our Archer on the surface, because this Storyteller's energy feels like a warm cup of tea, or a comforting fireplace, or the laughter of someone telling you a story you didn't even know you needed to hear. They may be a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or perhaps they just really embody water energy, such that they may be gentle, emotional, empathetic, and creative. There's something magnetic about them as well. They speak and people listen, not just because they have charm, though I do definitely think that this person has a lot of charm, but it is because they speak from a deep and heart-filled place. Their stories come from experience because they've lived, maybe in far-off places, maybe in emotional landscapes that others are afraid to enter, and that gives their voice a special kind of power. This is someone who might work in a creative field, or they're just somebody who lives creatively. Maybe they write, they act, they could teach, or they're just known for being that one friend whose stories make everybody gather around. You feel seen and safe around this person. You laugh with them, you cry with them. The word viewpoints on this card tells us that this person is someone who can understand people very well. They can see other people's perspectives, and they can put themselves in other people's shoes. They are very fair and understanding and easygoing. It is possible that they are empaths, or just can very easily connect with others on a heart level. And while they are easygoing, lighthearted even, there's something deeper underneath that. For many of you who picked this reading, this card says the storyteller is the teller of their own story. They don't want to be anyone else's side character. They are the author, the narrator, the editor, and the creator. They know how important it is to stand in your own truth and take responsibility for your own path. But I do want to mention that for a few of you watching, this message of control could go even deeper. The storyteller may tend to struggle with letting go. They may need to feel a sense of predictability, though for most of you who picked this reading, it's likely that the word control means the exact opposite, in that this storyteller knows how to let go of control. And by letting go and trusting in the universe and in their intuition, they can be sweet and flowing and easygoing like the water energy that they embody. There's also a playfulness in this person. We can see the image on this card shows someone creating shadow puppets and having a bit of fun and being a little silly. So perhaps this person may be great with kids, or maybe they themselves are the ones that retain that childlike wonder and imagination in their own life. They find joy in little things, and they're someone you want to listen to, sit with, be with, not because they demand attention, but because they invite attention. So we have the archer and the storyteller. These two souls complement one another in a rather poetic kind of way. Where the archer is focused, the storyteller is fluid. One draws the bow with care, the other trusts the wind. The archer plans, the storyteller flows. But neither is chaotic, neither is lost. Both know exactly who they are and what they want from life. And that is what makes this pairing very powerful as well. The archer teaches the storyteller how to build foundations, how to wait for the right moment, how to aim true. And the storyteller shows the archer how to soften, how to laugh, how to let the story unfold without trying to control every word. This is a relationship built on mutual respect, a relationship where patience meets passion, intellect meets intuition, and air meets water. If this reading is resonating with you so far, you are at the right place. If not, please feel free to try another reading that might have called out to you. Now then, I have these two tarot cards to tell us about how you and your future spouse are like with each other, to each other, and within your relationship. This is the energy you and your future spouse bring into your connection, and it could even be showing us a side of you or your person that you may not show the outside world. So for our first card, we have Judgment. And for our other card, there is the Page of Swords. I want to mention that even though you and your future spouse are coming together in love, you are two whole, independent people choosing to walk through life side by side. But at the same time, you do come together to form one partnership and union. So these two cards could represent you and your person, one card each, or they could refer to both of you together. First, we have our Judgment card. This card represents someone who is deeply honest, fair, and grounded in truth. In your relationship, this person shows up with their full heart and full integrity. They do not hide. They do not deceive. They hold the love between you two as sacred, and they would never do anything to betray your trust. Their love is deliberate and steady and true. In the image on this card, we can see that the little prince is carrying the fox in his arms, and he is gently floating while the crowd below looks up to them in admiration. And what this tells us is that perhaps to others, your relationship is extremely enviable. People will look at you and your partner and think, wow, I want a relationship like that too. This person is probably also very popular, and there are many people who would give anything to receive their love or attention, but they only have eyes for their spouse. Just like the little prince carrying the fox in this image, this relationship is filled with tenderness, loyalty, and devotion. This is the kind of partner who makes you feel safe. You know that when they say something, they mean it. And you know exactly where they stand because they wear their heart on their sleeve. There's no manipulation here, no confusion, no games, just truth and love and clarity. The second card we got is our Page of Swords. This is the energy of curiosity, freshness, and intellectual connection. This person is curious about their spouse. They're always curious and always wanting to learn more about their partner. This is someone who wants to learn about and understand their partner's thoughts, ideas, dreams, and they want to hear about all of their partner's stories. They are the kind of spouse who listens intently, who engages in meaningful conversation, and they're the kind of person who shows love through understanding and words. So that means words of affirmation could be a big part of how this person loves. Maybe they like to write little love messages on sticky notes and leave them around the house to be discovered. Or perhaps they are always encouraging and supportive. Or they like to stay up late into the night just talking about life with their spouse. This person's love is lively, bright, and always interesting. The page is the youngest of all the court cards, so there could be a hint of shyness or inexperience here. This could be someone who is still learning how to express themselves in love. Maybe they've never been in something this real before, or maybe they're usually used to holding everything in, always being the strong or silent type. But with you, they want to learn to be better. They want to grow, and they're taking those first steps into letting themselves be vulnerable and into stepping into tenderness, into a real connection. They might stumble here and there, especially at first, and that will not be because there is lack of love. Instead, it will be because they love so much that they want to get it right. Together, your union is kind, it is gentle, it's curious, honest, and also open. One of you could bring more of that grounding energy of truth and clarity. You are the rock, the shelter, and the promise, while the other of you brings more of that sense of lightness and learning, and you are the spark, the conversation, and the wonder. Within each other, you will both find a home. You create a relationship built not on illusion or fantasy, but on honesty and excitement and shared growth. There is so much respect between you two, so much mutual admiration. You see each other and you really see each other. And you're both willing to do the work. You're willing to learn together and love each other better every day. This is the kind of love that does not fade. Instead, it evolves. And even after years together, you'll still be learning new things about each other, still growing and still choosing one another every single day. And I love that for you. Next, I have all of these oracle cards to tell us more about the dynamics and energy of your marriage and relationship with your future spouse. I'll show you all of them first, and then I'll go through each one individually. Starting with this first card, we have Pink Rose with the message Grace and Sweetness. The pursuit of perfection, then, is the pursuit of sweetness and light. And then there is Earth with a message Persistence, Patience, and Practicality. The next card you got is Trust, represented by the basil with the number 21. And then there is Third house with the message Communication. We also have the card Loving All That Is, number 22. And finally, our last card here is New Moon Eclipse with a message Expect Powerful Change. These cards tell us the dynamic between you and your future spouse and how this relationship actually feels from the inside, and how it functions, and how you two move through life together. So starting with our pink rose card. This card begins with the beautiful message that the pursuit of perfection then is the pursuit of sweetness and light. What this tells us is that this relationship could be a turning point for both of you. Maybe in the past, you or your future spouse were chasing some ideal version of love, some kind of polished, perfect picture of what it is supposed to look like. But this connection teaches you a different kind of truth. In your marriage, instead of perfection, what is important to you is presence. You start to see that what makes someone lovable isn't how flawless they are. It's their humanness, their soft spots, their quirks, their scars, and they will also see all those parts in you and love you all the more for them. If perfectionism is something you've struggled with, know that in this relationship, you will be held so gently that those walls will start to melt. There is no pressure to have everything together all the time. You are allowed to be messy, to make mistakes, to be vulnerable, and your future spouse will love you through all of it. Pink roses are associated with tenderness, as well as admiration and deep appreciation. These pink roses are not loud or dramatic. They are soft and meaningful. And that is the energy that will run through your relationship. It will be gentle, it will be grateful, romantic, and kind. For some of you who picked this reading, perhaps pink roses like to show up in your actual life too. Maybe in a bouquet, at your wedding, or on a special anniversary, or just out and about while you're exploring the world. It could be that pink roses are a sign that you are on the right track and that you and your future spouse are getting closer to each other. Next, we have the Earth card. This is the grounding card. It brings us back to Earth, literally. It speaks to the stability of your union. I also immediately noticed that this card also has pink roses on it, and I always love when the cards confirm each other like this. The universe is emphasizing this theme of soft love and strong roots. Your marriage will have that earthy, steady kind of magic. It will not be showy or overly dramatic, but it will be real. It will be tangible and enduring. You two will be able to get through anything together because your bond is not based on fleeting passion or surface level connection. Your bond is based on mutual respect, shared values, and a deep sense of grounding. This is the kind of relationship where both people are incredibly reasonable and kind and willing to listen to each other. You will show each other patience, and you will give each other space when it's needed, but also know when to step in and support each other. Together, you'll build a life full of abundance, not just materially, but also emotionally. And yes, you may be able to have the abundance to enjoy the finer things in life together, but neither of you are flashy. There is this sense of gratitude and humility here. You know how rare this connection is, and you never take each other for granted. Next, moving on to our basil card here. This card brings in another dimension to your connection, and that is trust, intimacy, but also a lot of fire. Let's start with the Scorpio symbol here that we see on this card. Scorpio rules over the sacral chakra, which governs intimacy, vulnerabilities, emotions, and also sensuality. This means that your relationship is not just built on mutual understanding and emotional support, there's also a lot of passion. You two will be very physically and emotionally connected, and your love life will be full of spark and love and magic. Then we see this eye symbol. This represents clarity, insight, and truly seeing. You and your spouse will truly see each other. There are no masks here. You are emotionally transparent with each other, and decisions in this relationship will be made as a team. There will be equal say, equal investment, and you'll always be on the same page. Also, this is a fire element card, so it adds intensity, creativity, and chemistry into the mix. You and your person are co-creators, whether it is creating a home, a project, a dream, or even children. The two of you will bring your passions together to create something powerful and lasting. Then we have the third house card. The image on this card shows two little birds chirping to one another, and immediately I get the idea of lovebirds. There's something so charming and tender about this card. You two don't just love each other, you also really like each other, you know? You enjoy talking, sharing, laughing, and dreaming with each other. You stay up late, just chatting about nothing and everything. You two are not only lovers, you're also best friends. I know it sounds so cliche, but it's true. Even if one or both of you are not natural communicators, something about this relationship teaches you how to be one. You want to understand each other, and you make the effort to talk things through with love and patience. This card also relates to childhood and early curiosity. There is a youthful and almost innocent energy here. Even if one or both of you are serious or mature in other areas of your life, within this relationship, you can be playful, you can be silly, you can be funny, you can share inside jokes, you can playfully tease each other. And you look at one another sometimes and just marvel at how lucky you are to have found your person. And that sense of wonder never really fades in your union with your future spouse. And then we have the magical card of loving all that is. This card brings us to the emotional heart of this reading. This is the softest, warmest card. It is about unconditional love, not the kind of love that demands or expects perfection, but the kind of love that sees everything and chooses to love anyway. You and your future spouse will see each other's shadows. You'll see the sides that are not polished. You'll see the parts that are still healing. And instead of turning away, you will hold each other closer. You will protect each other, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. There is so much tenderness in how you love, so much care. You don't just love what the other person is good at, you love the whole person. And being able to love and be loved like that is the most wonderful feeling. We also have the new moon eclipse card, which brings us a powerful message that says this relationship changes everything. This card is about a new beginning, a life-altering shift. When you enter into union with your future spouse, it will feel like stepping into a brand new world. Everything will feel different and better. It'll be like going from black and white to seeing in color. Suddenly, you're not just surviving, you are living. You are creating. You are loving with your whole heart. And you are stepping into a version of life you may not have even dared to dream of before. Whatever you thought love was, this will be more. Whatever you believed about your future, this will expand it. This person does not just enter your life, they build life together with you. And together, you two are a team. You are a safe haven for each other to grow and rest. And it will be a love story written with patience, with passion, and truth, sweetness, and so much joy. So now that we have this wonderful picture of what your connection is going to be like, it is time to receive a whole lot of love from your future spouse. Starting with these two cards, they will tell us about how your future spouse truly sees you. The first card we have is the Dancer with the message self-expression, strength. And for your second card, we have the Six of Cups. Wow, I love these cards. When your future spouse looks at you, it's as if time slows down and the rest of the world just fades, and their eyes can only see you. They see you as the center of their universe, the person their soul instinctively draws toward. These two cards paint a picture of someone unforgettable, and that is exactly how your future spouse sees you. The Dancer card with the message of self-expression and strength shows that your future spouse sees you as someone radiant and free. We can see that there is a red ribbon tied around the fingers on the image of this card. And it makes me think of the red string of fate, which is an invisible thread that connects soulmates across lifetimes, distances, and even impossible circumstances. So this tells us that your future spouse believes with every part of their heart that you were always meant to find each other, and that no matter what winding paths you both had to take earlier in life, this union was written in the stars. They see you as someone who does not shrink yourself to fit into the mold of other people's opinions. You are unapologetically you. You speak your truth. You live your dreams. You are fiercely honest about who you are, and they find that so attractive. It's like watching a dancer take the stage with confidence, commanding attention not by force, but by grace. Your future spouse watches you with a lot of admiration, with awe, and with a deep sense of respect for your strength. But it's not just your strength that draws them in, it is also your fluidity, your ability to flow, to adapt, to create and captivate. You move through life like a dancer through choreography. You are both graceful and unpredictable. You have this way of making the mundane seem magical, and to your future spouse, you are just mesmerizing. Kind of like a dancer who enchants the prince in a fairy tale. You have enchanted your future spouse's heart. And the moment they see you, everything else fades into the background, and they always see you in this beautiful light. With our Six of Cups, we are shown an even deeper layer to your connection. This is the card of soulmates. It talks about nostalgia and past life connections. When your future spouse is with you, they feel something familiar and comforting. There's something about you that their soul recognizes, even if they can't put it into words, like they've known you in another lifetime, and perhaps they have. There is also a beautiful sweetness to this card, and a youthful kind of energy. Your person sees you as someone who has held on to wonder, someone who still believes in love, in magic, and in the good in people, even if life has been hard. And being with you brings out that same sweetness in them. When they are near you, they remember how to be playful and how to laugh freely, how to dream. They see you as someone who is both secure and sparky. You are the one who brings them peace and safety, but also the one who ignites their passion. To your future spouse, you are a muse. You are a guiding light and a soft place to land. They look at you and they see everything they've ever searched for and so much more. Next, we will look into how your future spouse truly feels about you. Starting with our oracle card, there is the Shepherd with the message celebration, family. And for our tarot card, you have Oh, wow, that's really interesting. We have the Tower. There is a beautiful complexity to how your future spouse truly feels about you. There is so much joy and tenderness, and it is mixed with intensity and vulnerability. These two very powerful cards came through to express the emotional depth of your future spouse's feelings. Let us start with the Shepherd, which carries the message of celebration and family. This card is so warm, so grounded, and so full of light. It shows us that when your future spouse thinks of you, their heart overflows with love. You are their home and you are their person. You're not just a partner to them, you are the family that they chose and the family that they have always wanted. And not only do they feel this way about you, they also want to build a future with you. They want to start a family with you in whatever form that may take. The shepherd is humble. He is out in the open plains, living a simple life, but one full of meaning and joy. The image that comes to mind for me for this card is of someone frolicking in the sunshine, laughing in the flower field, watching the grassy lands ripple in the wind, and breathing in fresh air. This is the feeling your future spouse experiences when they think about you. It is peace, and you are their calm, you are their joy, you are their deep breath after a long day. You're the simple pleasure that makes life worth it. You bring them back to the feeling of the common, simple, and beautiful things in life. There is something so soft about how they feel for you. It's not loud or dramatic, it is sweet and grounded. So much happiness is here, a life that is shared and built together day by day. They feel so lucky to have found you, and every ordinary moment with you becomes extraordinary just because you're together. But then right beside this peaceful card comes the Tower, and this is a card that carries a completely opposite energy. While the Shepherd is about steady love and joy, the Tower is about upheaval, about transformation and raw emotion. And yet, when we look deeper, these two cards actually really complement each other. Because the truth is, your future spouse doesn't just feel peace and comfort with you, they also feel everything. Their love for you has shaken them to their core. Maybe they never knew they could love someone so deeply like this. And the Tower card is a major arcana card, which means their feelings are not casual or passing. This is not a crush or even just romantic love. It is something foundational. Their love for you is so deep and so real that it has the power to knock down everything they thought they knew. Maybe they had carefully constructed walls around their heart in the past. Maybe they thought they could stay in control, be composed, play it safe. But when you entered their life, all of that came crashing down. You have the power to turn their whole world upside down, and they know it. And that kind of vulnerability is both beautiful and frightening. They care about you so deeply that the idea of losing you or seeing you hurt shakes them, and they would do anything to protect you. The image on this Tower card really stands out, and in the story of the Little Prince, this shows the moment when the pilot's plane crashes. It is a disaster, yes, but that crash is exactly what led the pilot to meet the Little Prince. In other words, the Tower is not just destruction, it is more like a beginning. The old breaks away so something new, something stronger and truer can take its place. And that is what your future spouse feels has happened with you. You came crashing into their world, or maybe they were the ones who crashed into yours. But either way, it changed everything, and it probably wasn't a clean, easy transition either. Maybe it was messy, vulnerable. Maybe their defenses came down all at once. But instead of turning away from the brokenness they exposed, you met them with love, with tenderness. And just like the image that we saw earlier on the Loving All That Is card, where flaws are not rejected, but embraced. They stood in front of you, raw and unguarded, and instead of being met with judgment, they were met with acceptance. And that moment, the collision between the shepherd's joy and the tower's vulnerability, is what defines the way your future spouse truly feels about you. You are their peace, you are their safe place to let the walls come down. With you, they feel held so gently. With you, they feel seen, and most of all, with you, they feel like they can fully be who they are. Wow, I'm getting goosebumps from this reading. Let us go straight into the next part. These two cards will tell us about what your future spouse truly loves about you. First, I'm making it clear that this is not everything they love about you because there's too many things for us to cover. But these are just some things in particular that your future spouse wants to highlight. Starting with our oracle card, there is the Queen with the message, determination, sacrifice. And your tarot card here is the Page of Wands. All right, let us start with the Queen. Your future spouse sees you as someone regal, not in a snobby or prideful way, but in the truest sense of the word. You carry yourself with grace and strength and purpose, and what they love most is your determination. They see you as someone who knows who you are and where you're going. You don't sit around waiting for life to happen to you. You go out there and you make it happen. You trust in your ability to shape your own path and decide your own future. And that energy is so magnetic to them and so inspiring as well. They watch you chase your dreams with focused effort and grounded strength, and it makes them feel lucky. So very lucky to be able to walk beside someone as incredible as you. But even more than your strength, they want to tell you that they see and appreciate all the sacrifices you make for people you love and care about. They see it even when you don't think they notice. Maybe you stayed up all night to care for them when they were sick. Maybe you moved across the country or even across the world so that they could pursue an opportunity or chase their purpose. You gave up comfort, time, or ease so that they could grow. And even if they don't always say it with words, they are deeply and genuinely grateful. And while they are so grateful, they really don't want you to make sacrifices anymore. They just want you to have all the best things, and they want to be the one to sacrifice for you, although you never ask them to. They look at you and see someone who loves with their whole heart. Someone who doesn't just say, I love you, but someone who proves it again and again through your choices, with your patience, and your willingness to put your shared life together ahead of yourself sometimes. They think you are so kind and so loyal. Now enter the Page of Wands, and we see a completely different but equally loved side of you that shows the spark of your spirit. Your future spouse absolutely adores how you never lose your childlike wonder. You might be determined and grounded like the Queen, but you're also bright-eyed and full of curiosity like the Page. You have this energy about you, something so alive and vibrant. You bring light into a room, into their world, and into their heart. They love how passionate you are, how you throw yourself fully into life, whether it is a new idea, a creative project, a funny meme, a sudden craving for late night snacks. You embrace it all with joy and spontaneity. You are full of energy and excitement, and they love watching your eyes light up when something excites you. You're also resilient. Life might knock you down sometimes, but you always get back up. And you don't just survive, you bounce back with more light, more fire, more determination than before. And your future spouse sees this, and they are constantly in awe of you. They see you as so brave and radiant. you are stronger than you know. And beyond all of that, they just think you're the cutest thing in the world. Even if you're actually a big, strong man or a fierce, independent queen, your future spouse is just smitten with you. They see you laughing at something silly, or lost in your thoughts, or simply walking into the room, and their heart just melts. You make them feel giddy like a teenager with a crush, and they want to wrap you in their arms and never let you go. They think you are absolutely adorable, so huggable and so lovable, and they get butterflies every single time they look at you. They love your strength and your softness. They love your determination and your playfulness. You are someone who makes life brighter just by being in it, someone they love with all of their heart, and they thank the stars every day that they found you. And this brings us to these two last cards that will show us some of the things that your future spouse wants to promise you. Again, I need to make clear that this is not everything they want to promise you. It's just a few in particular that we want to address right now. Starting with our first card, which is the Oracle card, you got the Air with the message Unseen Potential, Hesitation. And then for the Tarot card, we have the Knight of Wands. Let us begin with the Air card. Your future spouse sees something in you, something that is brilliant, something that is fast, and something that is still becoming. You are not someone they just want to love. You are someone they want to lift up. They know there is more inside you than the world may see, dreams you haven't yet spoken aloud, gifts you haven't fully unwrapped, and a future you might only barely believe in. And they want to promise you this: they will believe in you even when you don't. They want to promise that they will encourage and support you to reach your fullest potential, that no matter how hesitant or uncertain you might feel at times, they will stand by you, cheering you on. And they want you to step fully into your light, into the life that is already yours, and they are prepared to walk with you every step of the way. And as for the hesitation mentioned in this card, they say no. When it comes to you, there is no hesitation, no pause, no doubt, no moment of silence between intention and action. No hesitation whatsoever. They are all in. And that is where the Knight of Wands comes blazing in. This is the card of movement and passion, courage and fire. Your future spouse wants you to know that they will always, always run toward you and never run away, even if a storm hits, when life gets messy, when you're scared or hurting or uncertain. They will never leave. They will be at your side. This knight charges in with their whole heart, not just because they love you, but because loving you is what they want to do. The image on this card shows the lamplighter who brings light into the darkness, and that is how your future spouse sees their role beside you. They want to promise that they will light up your world, not just with wild electric chemistry, though there is definitely plenty of that, but with something even more profound. They want the love that you two build to be like a cozy fireplace that burns hot but steady, a source of warmth, a place of safety, something you can always return to. And they promise to bring you passion, yes, lots of passion, but also stability. They want to light your world with adventure and with consistency. They will nurture the flames of joy and comfort and shared laughter for years to come, and they will never let that light fade. And here's something even deeper they want you to know. They want to promise that they will fight for you, not just in the easy moments, but in the ones where it's hard, when you feel small, when you doubt yourself, when the weight of the world creeps in. They promise to stand tall beside you and remind you of who you are, of what you're capable of why you are so loved. They will never hesitate to protect you, to lift you up, to hold space for your growth, your healing, and your biggest dreams. They promise to see the potential in you even when you can't, and to believe in the life that you're building together, even when the path is unclear. They want to promise to bring you light and fire and movement, and keep that fire burning with care and devotion. And they want to be the one who always chooses you without hesitation every single time. This has been such a beautiful reading full of loving messages for you from your future spouse. Now, to conclude this beautiful reading, please allow me to read for you these lavender purple channeled wedding vows from your future spouse. These are true words that they feel deeply. Whether they're a little shy or simply quiet by nature, this is their heart speaking to yours. My dearest, from the very beginning, I felt something in my chest pull toward you, like a compass finally finding true north. Before I even had the words, before I could name what it was, I knew it was you. You were the one I had been aiming for all along. You are mystery and familiarity, all at once. You make sense to me in the way dreams do, strange and beautiful and impossible not to chase. And chase you I did, not because I had to, but because I couldn't not. I knew right away that you were my soulmate. I believe with every beat of my heart that we were meant for each other. You move through the world with such boldness, with such fire in your expression and grace in your movement, and I can't help but be in awe of you. You are powerful in the gentlest ways. You are strength wrapped in beauty. You are art in motion, and you are the safest place I have ever known. There is something about being with you that feels like I'm returning to a home I didn't know I was missing. With you, there's laughter. There's joy in the ordinary. Sunlight on your cheek, your hand finding mine in the dark. There is a kind of magic in simply being near you. Perhaps you don't even know it, but you made my walls come crashing down. You broke down all my defenses, not with force, but with love. I stood before you, vulnerable and unsure, and you held me with such tenderness. No one had ever held me like that. And loving you has changed everything. You've given me your trust, your energy, your unwavering belief in who I am and who I could become. You've stood beside me when I've stumbled, and somehow you've always managed to make me feel like I was flying. You never stop dreaming, and you never stop believing in others. Even when the world tries to dim your light, you rise again and again with that same unstoppable spark in your eyes. You're fierce and you're soft, and I want to hug you so tight and hold you so close. So today, in front of everyone, and in front of just you and me, I promise this. I promise to never hesitate, to charge to your side, to fight for us, to protect what we've built and what we're still becoming. I promise to light up your world, not just with passion and fire, but with warmth, comfort, and everlasting devotion. I promise to believe in every part of you, even the parts you're still learning to believe in yourself. I promise to carry your dreams in my chest like they're my own, and I promise to make sure you never forget just how deeply you are loved. I will be your biggest fan, your soft place to land, your fireplace when you're cold, your safety blanket when you're tired, your forever partner in this messy, beautiful, wild life. Because for me, it has always been you, and it always will be. Yours to keep forever, your future spouse. those are all the messages I have for you today. And now that your heart is so full with love from your future spouse, this is the perfect time to channel that energy into manifesting them with this guided meditation that I have made for you. You can find the timestamp down in the description. I hope I was able to convey the beautiful and sweet messages from your future spouse so that you could feel their love. And please allow yourself to claim all the messages you would like. And remember that this is a general reading, so it's perfectly all right if not every single message was meant for you. Don't forget that we all have the ability to shape our own destinies and paths. So if there is something you don't like in your reading, trust and know that you do have the power to shape your own journey. Please let me know in the comments below if things resonated for you, and please feel free to leave a like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and I will see you in the next one. This meditation is here for you now, after the messages you've received, after hearing the love that was meant for your heart. You've just heard your future spouse speak their vows. Please allow their love for you to fill your heart and channel that energy into this meditation. Allow these beautiful, strong feelings to be the energy source for your manifestation. Let your future spouse's energy surround you. Go ahead and find a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down. Allow your heart to gently open as you roll your shoulders back. Let your hands rest in your lap or at your sides, with palms facing upward to tell the universe that you are open and ready to receive. And slowly, gently close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose. Let your belly rise. And exhale fully through your mouth, letting go of any tension in your body. One more time. Breathe in, soft and full. And exhale, letting your body melt into relaxation. Let's do another. Breathe in deeply and slowly. And exhale, releasing stress and letting go of thoughts on your mind. Allow your breath to flow now as it pleases. Imagine with each inhale, you are breathing in your person's beautiful love that is now all around you. And with each exhale, feel any doubt and worry leave your body. Now bring your awareness to your heart, that tender space at the center of your chest, the place that resonated when you heard their vows, the place that softened when you felt their love. This is your portal. This is the doorway that connects you to them. Imagine a soft, warm light beginning to glow in the center of your chest. It pulses gently in tune with your heartbeat. This light is your love. This light is your heart calling out to your person's heart. And now let your heart begin to send out the signal and allow it to speak, not with words, but with energy. Allow it to say, I am ready, I am open, I am safe to love and be loved. Envision yourself sitting or lying down in a quiet field at sunset. The glimmering light of golden hour wraps around you. The air is warm. There's a gentle breeze. Feel the evening sunshine on your skin and hear the sound of the grass waving in the soft wind. You feel a presence approaching, not with footsteps, but with a feeling. And that feeling is love, your future spouse's love. Feel their essence. Feel their soul reaching out to yours. Feel them drawing near. Maybe there is a tingle in your chest, a flutter in your belly, a warmth behind your eyes. Trust it. You don't need to see them. You already know them. You already feel them. Let their love surround you, like sunlight, like music, like coming home. Let yourself whisper to them from your heart. I feel you. I receive you. I'm so grateful you're here with me. And feel their reply. Maybe you hear their words. Maybe it's a smile. Maybe it's just the weightless, limitless feeling of being able to love and be loved deeply and fully. There's nothing you need to do, nothing to chase, nothing to fix. Just be here and receive and enjoy. Be here in the presence of a love that is already yours. A love that's walking toward you moment by moment. A love that is already unfolding for you. And now imagine placing your hand over your person's heart. Feel the steady beat beneath your palm. Feel the rhythm sync with yours. They are calling to you as you call to them, resonating with each other, responding to each other, recognizing each other. You can send a message from your heart to theirs right now. You can tell them, take your time, I trust our path. I know we'll meet when it's right, but I feel you with me even now. And let this bring you peace. Let this remind you that love isn't something far away. It's already blooming inside you, around you, through you. And with every breath, you're drawing it closer. Let yourself bask in this love for a few final breaths. Long, soft, and slow breaths. Like you're breathing in a future that already belongs to you. Breathing in their love, feeling it fill your heart and soul. And as you feel their love warming your body, sending little tingles down to your toes and fingertips, say in your heart, I believe in us. I believe in this love. I trust divine timing, and I will carry this feeling always. Take this feeling of love and acceptance with you as you bring your awareness back to your physical body, feeling grateful that everything works out and that all you have to do is to be open to receiving. Begin to return now to the room around you. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, roll your shoulders back. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Thank you for allowing me to be your guide through this gentle meditation to help you manifest your future spouse. If you enjoyed this, please let me know in the comments and I will make some more guided meditations for you in the future. Thank you for subscribing and liking my videos and for your kind words and support. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.